Mariners dropped game 1 of their series against the Brewers is probably an understatement when it's a 22-0 shutout loss, the biggest in Mariners history. Logan Gilbert tries to stop the bleeding again with a start today in game 2, first pitch at 4:40 p.m. Taylor Ward wasn't in the lineup for a 5th consecutive game yesterday, but could return today. He was available off the bench last night. Meanwhile, reliever Carlos Vargas is in line to make his season debut on Friday when the Mariners return home for a series against the Cubs.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Go ahead and talk, Bump. Maybe your voice is more important. Maybe your voice is all. Maybe your voice is all people care about. Maybe you're all people want to hear, because you're certainly the only voice that the producers of HBO's Hard Knocks want to hear. Because 40 minutes into this episode or so was Michael Bumpus on the call in the second quarter in the Seahawks preseason game against the Cowboys.
I recognize that.
And I thought, oh, I know that voice. That's Michael Bumpus. I heard a couple other people's voices on the show.
Raves, Wyman.
Couple appearances from people, and yet nothing from me. I've been there. I put in the time. I have desperately tried to get in front of those cameras.
Yeah, enough out of you, Stacy.
But with their stars like Devin Witherspoon on the sideline, the field opens up.
Alert the trooper. We got 1st and 10 Cowboys driving on Hawks 38-yard line. Drop it back, looking downfield. Bomb, 2 Seahawks around. The ball is caught.
Damn it.
Touchdown, Cowboys.
I feel like if that was Witherspoon, he'd come down with the ball. He would have got that thing.
That's Dave Wyman's voice.
That's going to take us to the half. Hawks down, 10-7.
Hey, me and my guy Dave.
Wow.
Let's go, Dave.
What a moment.
Let's go.
Play-by-play bumper rocks. I didn't even know that was happening when I was listening to the game. It was,
You got to update that IMDb page, Bump.
I saw Ian afterwards. I was taking a lap, and I'm going up the stairs. He's like, Bob, what's good? I'm like, what up, Ian? What's good? Were you with your dad?
Yeah, my dad and I got some friends tickets to the game.
That's what's up.
Were they on Hard Knocks too?
Probably.
Apparently everyone was. No, it was, jokes aside, it was cool to hear you and Wyman in Hard Knocks. That was very awesome. And it was also just a really cool episode. I've really enjoyed the season so far. I know I'm biased because it's about a team that we're watching closely and rooting for, but it feels like every single episode are genuine takeaways that you can have about a team that, despite covering them every day, and you're very close, you're around there all the time, there's still stuff that we're learning. What's something that stood out from you from this one?
Montori Foster, I think it's a great story. My man scored a touchdown, ran a nice vertical route, snapped it at the top, more like a slant or a bang, you want to call it. Caught the football, made a couple more catches, dropped a football, but also people don't see like the behind the scenes. That's what Hard Knocks is all about. Like Montori had a good day. You see, he met it with his parents. He's mad about the drop that he had, but then also during the game, coach is mad at him because he's getting coached up, right? You're supposed to do this when that happens. So just like when Kason Williams was here and he's jumping over people, making all these plays, and everyone's baffled, like, why didn't he make the team? There are things that we just don't see. Like Montori had himself a good game, but I guarantee you Frisk is on his you-know-what about the mistakes that he made. When you are an undrafted guy, a bubble guy, you can have the game of your life. You make 1 or 2 mistakes, they're going to harp on those mistakes because they're trying to figure out how do we separate guys. But lucky for Montori, Cody White didn't do much. I don't think Bubble even suited up. And the other receivers didn't really stand out. So if Montori were to not make this team, it's probably not because of the plays that he made. It's probably because of mistakes that he made. Or the plays he didn't make. It's the mistakes that he made.
Do you find yourself wondering whether or not he'll make the team? Because before Hard Knocks started, before the preseason started, I had no doubt in my mind. Like, Montori Foster, what a cool story. I remember reading something about him being a substitute teacher. That's awesome. He's not making this team. And wide receivers are always one of those groups where there's always 1 or 2 guys in camp where you're like, that guy's cool. There's 30 bodies here, and the same guys that you would expect to make the roster end up making it, the same 5 or 6 guys. I'm now at the point where I go, well, what could he do to make a case.
He's got to go crazy on specials. He's got to tackle because that's what Cody can do. We talked to Cody White, and he said he literally, before practice, he gets with the DB coach, and they work on tackling because he realizes this is what I need to do to make this team. Bobo is good at tackling as well. So Foster has to go nuts when it comes to kickoff cover, punt cover. There's a lot that he has to do. But so far, he's on the right track. Scored the only touchdown of the game and had a decent game other than the drop and the mistake or two.
All right, one of my big takeaways, back to that Terrion Arnold stuff, just more insight there is always really interesting. I think the thing that stood out most was this conversation between special teams coach Jay Harbaugh and John.
If you're them, why would you release him? Like,
well, it was because it was very shocking. Like, if you read the Athletic article, it's not good. And
you would imagine if it was flipped, it would probably be the same thing here.
No, I think we probably would have had to let him go.
Yeah, because it's just the nature of, like, when you're the team, it's different than the second chance team.
Yeah.
Right? It's totally different.
Yeah.
I get that.
Like, we have all these character references, like Coach Saban.
Wow.
We loved them coming out, remember?
Wow. That's pretty sweet.
I think this situation itself is complicated, and there's no, like, black and white kind of thing. And ultimately, it's a business. So I thought it was interesting to hear a general manager be very blunt about, look, he didn't betray our trust. And I completely understand why. Like, I read the article. I've looked at the charges.
Right.
It's shocking. Like, you look at it and you go, this isn't good. If I were the Lions, yeah, we probably would have had to let him go because there's a betrayal there. There was an investment we made. Then he lied to us and then all this stuff. When you're the second chance team and you're extending an opportunity, but then it's a short leash, well, that's a completely different mindset, and that's a completely different kind of set of rules and, like, moral code you have to follow. And I thought he was right. Like, it may not sound great to you, but I thought that makes sense to me.
You're more likely to lie and fabricate to that initial team, right? And they're absolutely right. They're getting all this information, and you have your conduct rules, right? Player conduct rules, right? You get involved in certain things, we have no choice but to let you go. And I think the Lions did what they were supposed to do. The second team, one, you're going to grab him for cheap.
Yeah,
and two,
that's important.
Yeah, and two, he's more likely to say, okay, this is where I messed up. Because you try to save your job and save yourself with that first team. We've all been there, right? You kind of fabricate a little bit. Maybe got caught up doing something you ain't supposed to do. But with this next one, you're like, okay, second chance. You've spoken to your agent, the people in your circle. You be 100%. You lay it all out there, and you decide if they want to do it or not. And like we mentioned, the second team gets you for the cheap.
Yep. They get you for the cheap. And again, in this conversation that Schneider has with Terrion Arnold's agent, Nicole Lynn, he's making it very clear, like, we want to make sure he fits and makes an effort to fit. Now, Nicole, you can hear her kind of making a very clear note to John that, like, Terrion will get a chance to play, right? That Terrion's interest right now is, I want to get on the field. Right. I want opportunities. And you hear this back and forth. This is a fascinating part of the business of sports and what John deals with. You hear this back and forth between a GM that simultaneously wants to bring her player time. John's main priority is getting to a Super Bowl and preserving the culture. It's an interesting back and forth.
The only thing I'm going to, just so you know, when I talk to him, I'm going to be like, you're coming in here to fit in. Like, this isn't like...
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
You and I are on the same page there, right?
That's what I want. 100%.
Okay.
I want all that. This is a long-term play.
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion.
Exactly.
This is a long-term play.
Nicole, I appreciate you reaching back. I appreciate you reaching back out.
Yeah. I just want to develop the human. Like,
no.
He'll get a chance to play at some level.
But he for sure. No, for sure. But he knows that, right? Like, he knows he's coming to, like...
100%.
Because I'm like, hey, man, like...
100%.
We're here to make you a better person, a better player. Like, there's a lot.
He knows.
Okay, all right.
As long as, he will play and do a good, get to play some, whatever that looks like. Like, great.
Yeah, no, for sure. But we don't know. We don't know how long it's going to be, so we'll see.
Exactly. So you got to prepare otherwise.
All right. I appreciate it, Nicole.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank
Bye.
you.
He's getting those steps in. I'll tell you
Yeah, get
what.
them steps in. He's still getting them steps in.
He is constantly getting those steps in. You bet he gets $20,000 a day.
Easy. And then he walks around the facility. He's at practice. Yeah.
That's insane.
He gets some steps.
I wonder sometimes how when people are like, oh, I get at least $10,000 a day. I'm like, I have a dog that I walk, and I still don't know how you get minimum $10,000 a day.
Yeah, it takes effort.
More importantly, what'd you
sure.
make of that interaction?
I think, one, big ups to all the women agents. I feel like there's a lot more now. going around. So big ups to them.
Yeah, she's one of the most successful agents, period.
Is that Jalen Hurts?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
She's got Terrion Arnold. She's got Jalen Hurts. She's got
Yeah,
Jaden.
she's nice.
She's got, her books are insane.
But the conversation, I think, is important because this is an example of the Seahawks culture. It says, look, we want to develop you as a person and the player. Right? You're going to get an opportunity here. We just don't know when it's going to be. It seems like his agent is doing her due diligence as well. Like, look, we want to make sure he has an opportunity to play.
Right.
There's no way Terrion Arnold is going to be available and he doesn't have an opportunity to play. What he does with it is going to be up to him. No, this is just a transparent conversation. And I think that this is the way it should be. And I think the perception of these conversations before this for a lot of people were that it's not like that. It's just a game. But this felt authentic.
Yeah, I thought so too. This felt like what it looks like when two people are trying to meet in the middle of, like, I think this episode made it very clear that John knows what the stakes are. This isn't a GM who's just getting completely convinced by a bargain player. This is someone who over and over and over and over again is trying to do character research. Like, every single episode has just been him talking to someone else going like, well, tell me more about this guy. Yeah. Like, he's doing his due diligence. What else stood out to you?
JSN. I mean, are we doing a segment on him? No, right? Okay. JSN. The way that they portrayed him and described him is exactly the way that I would have done it. Like, the way you heard the players talk about him, his pad level hardly changes. I mean, smooth with it. He doesn't give any indicators of when he's going left, when he's going right. He's deceptively fast. I don't think he's like a burner out there, but he's fast enough to where he can run by you. But because he gives no indicators, he freezes defenders. It's almost like, what is he going to do? You get to this 10-yard mark. Are you going to continue for 2 yards and run a curl? Are you going to continue for 2 and run a dig? Are you going to snap it off to a post? Are you going to round it off to an out? And there was a frame where they showed him running like 5 yards in all different directions that he runs the routes. And I'm like, that's a perfect way to describe what JSN is. He's probably the smoothest receiver I've seen in the league in a long time.
Is there any other receiver that reminds you of that? Like, if you're a big outside receiver, you don't always have to do that because you're gonna win every single time. But is there anyone like that where you can think is just so level?
Yep, Jerry Rice. I'm not saying he's gonna be Jerry Rice, but you look at Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was not. There's violent route runners. Justin Jefferson, a violent route runner. He really snaps his stuff down and everything's linear. With JSN, he runs linear routes, but he rounds a lot of them. And I think that's what allows him to keep his body language the same for so long. But yeah, as soon as last year I was watching film of JSN, and he's like the modern version of Jerry Rice, right? Obviously, technique has changed a bit, but you see similarities in how they run and do things.
Another thing that stood out to me because it reminded us of the conversation we had with Jalen Milroe was that Jalen is the one who feels a little hesitant to run and depend on his legs, whereas Mike McDonald is telling Jalen Milroe in this meeting, in this scene, hey, we want you to run more.
What does that say right there? Love 21-yard gains.
Yes.
They're the best. I love 21-yard gains. Those are the best gains. Check this one out. Like, how many times have we seen Jalen just rip a throw right here on his first hitch? A million times, right? Dude, that's Mike McDonald right there. Make Mike McDonald miss and go score. And then the real Mike McDonald will be his pants on the sideline. Now saying, okay, what if he throws the ball? Now we're screwed. Now, if he doesn't throw the ball, we're probably even more screwed. It's like cowbell. We want more cowbell.
He did not know where that reference was from, which I also thought was funny and completely believable given their age. But this reminded me a lot of the conversation we had with him where it feels like Jalen, and there are lots of elements to this too, including what Jalen talked about very openly, like as a black quarterback, not wanting to be pigeonholed or made to be, you know, you're not really a quarterback, you're a runner first. And he's like, well, I'm a quarterback and I want to value those things. It was hard, Bump, not to think of the conversation that he had with us. Is that what you found yourself thinking as well? Yeah,
I think that's a battle that maybe black quarterbacks will deal with for the next 20 plus years until it's just the norm, until a lot of these guys have grown up with just half the league having black quarterbacks, which it's been getting there. And when you're and it's almost a compliment too. I know we take it as a negative at times, but it's a compliment at the same time. They're saying, you are so athletic. We want to find 1,000 ways to get you to football. And if you can't start at the quarterback position. Where can we move you so you can touch the football? But as a quarterback, you're saying, I've been doing this my whole life. I ain't been running routes. Haven't been a running back. I ain't been a DB. So it's weird. But I love that Mike Macdonald is encouraging him to do that. Michael Vick won games by himself running that dang football. Lamar Jackson has won games by himself. Josh Allen has won games by themselves running the football. So I think there has to be a balance, and I think we saw that in the Cowboys game. There were times where he stood in the pocket, let the ball go. There were times where he got some pressure, he had to get up out of there. I think we have to turn that into a positive when it comes to us football guys. It is not a negative that your quarterback can run. He is still a quarterback, though. Don't try to make him into anything he hasn't been, especially quarterbacks. Quarterbacks have been quarterbacks since they were like 8. You know what I mean? Like, this is what they do. So don't try to change him, man. So I like the approach that Mike Macdonald has.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Mariners were destroyed 22-0 by the Brewers in their series opener. What's the real headline?
Okay, sure. But could you imagine losing 3-1 to the Angels? Right?
Okay. It's called perspective, people.
Hear me out. The exchange rate, okay? Are you picking up what I'm picking down? The exchange rate on these runs. No, listen to me. 22 runs from the best team in baseball. Hear me out. That's roughly the same as allowing 3 runs from the worst team, right? Right?
I guess.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not buying it.
No, you totally. You guys get it.
I'll support you 100%.
So the Astros lost to the Angels is what I'm saying, and
didn't lose any ground in the division.
What this is right now.
Let's go.
This is called cope. If you opened up a dictionary and you looked at cope, you would hear this argument I'm making.
Julio Rodriguez.
Headline rewrites.
Wow.
Julio Rodriguez throwing that baseball into the stands on the second out is the epitome of guys just not caring. Whatever.
Checked out.
Just not locked in. It was that was embarrassing. And what do you say to your team? Like, what do you say to your team after this? What do you say before the game? It's I want to see how they bounce back today.
I think the only thing you can say, I'm curious whether or not you guys listening agree or not. I felt like the loss against the Astros Friday was more painful than this loss.
For sure.
I've experienced
100% sure.
Infinitely more painful, gutting, heartbreaking losses, objectively worse losses than this. This loss to me was embarrassing. This loss to me was like all of baseball is making fun of you for the next several hours. Like, this loss highlights some of the same mistakes over and over. I will not be thinking about this loss and ruminating
years from
on
now?
it years
Yeah.
from now. Whereas that George Springer home run, I'll never forget that a day in my life until I die. Like the Jordan home run, I'll never forget that ever and ever. So it's not adding perspective. It's not putting a silver lining. It's just saying that fundamentally, I view this loss. And to answer your question, Bump, the reason I'm saying all of it is if I'm Dan Wilson, I'm going, just flush it. We're not going to lose another game 22-0. This is embarrassing. Let's get right. But, we can't enter into game 2 thinking about this game at all.
This loss, if I'm out of town, makes me pick my Dodger cap just for the day. I'm not going to put on the Mariners cap that day to travel.
That's crazy.
I don't want to deal with all this stuff. I'm going to put on the Dodger cap for the day.
You're
going
to put on
tomorrow, I'll put the Mariners hat back on.
You put on the cap for the team whose owner is under federal
going to
investigation
jail.
And going to jail.
Lock him up.
That's actually, you know what? Shockingly, and I mean this, less embarrassing.
Hey, it's LA, baby. It's mafia. It's organized crime. You know what I'm saying?
Violating rules by borrowing millions of dollars from your own companies of other people's money to pay for your players, without irony, less embarrassing.
He deferred all that money because he's like, it's not going to be my problem. It's going to be somebody else's problem.
Someone else's day. We're actually going to get to this.
76-51. First place in the West.
And
25 to life in jail.
Players are good. Otani's good. You know what I'm saying?
Are we sure Otani's good? His interpreter's serving time too.
What's Next.
Taylor Ward was not in yesterday's lineup for a fifth straight time due to leg soreness, but said he's close and could play in Game 2 against the Brewers. What's the real headline?
How can you get leg soreness when you don't walk?
That's what I'm saying.
Dang, that's a bar.
Because that stat Curtis brought up.
He has not walked yet in a Mariners uniform.
Not walked. So he was available off the bench yesterday, which he clearly was not going to come off the bench. That would seem to indicate that either today or tomorrow for a matinee, you'll see him. What we still haven't seen, though, while we're on the topic, is a walk from Taylor Ward, who led the American League in walks prior to being acquired by you.
You got to crawl before you walk.
Please don't crawl to first.
Man, just do something. Somebody do something. That's all. Somebody do something. Bryce didn't look good yesterday. Julio's throwing the ball into the crowd. We got Rivas getting lit up. Hey, and you know what I appreciate about professional sports? No mercy rule. You take this 22-0. Right? If this were Little League or high school, mercy rule, bring your subs in. Nah, Brewers are like, nah, you a grown man. Finish this dang game. We're going to go yard on you.
You know what else I'll say about this loss? I don't look at it as 22-0. Like, there are some inflated numbers here. You get to that historical number by virtue of having a position player pitch, and they add on 9 more runs. All right. Leo Rivas' ERA, by the way, really unfair for him. But you can't keep rolling him out there.
You can't keep rolling
him out there. He can't be on the playoff roster out of the pen. But what got me was basically the first through fifth innings. What this should have been, unfortunately still for the Mariners, is like a 13-1 loss or a 13-0 loss. And maybe today, instead of, oh my God, just flush this and don't think about it, we're going, wow, should Dan have pulled Bryce? Did you go to the right reliever? We're talking about Dan's decision-making. We're talking about Bryce's health. We're talking about bullpen depth, and we're talking about a lack of offense. Instead, because you end up losing 22-0, it just becomes, what an embarrassing game. But in a weird way, all those runs take away from some of the bigger issues. Last up.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, the Seahawks tried out former Pro Bowl cornerback Trevon Diggs yesterday. What's the real headline?
You're not the only one wondering whether Terron Arnold's going to play this season. It's clear the Seahawks are too.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're ready to go. With that move right there, it makes me feel like they want something right now. Like Terron, if everything works out, we'll see him eventually. But there's a sense of urgency in that room for some reason. Is it Dansby? Is it the other kid from is it Fuller his name is? Is it Neal? Like there's some stuff going on in that room that they feel like they need this type of backup, and I'm all for it, man. You make sure that you're deep enough when the season starts.
Someone said the Mariners didn't square up.
They didn't square up.
Square up?
I don't sound like that. That's not what I sounded like.
Square up. No, they didn't.
Square up. I don't sound like that. And secondly, I was quoting Bump. So I wasn't saying it. I was saying, well, Bump, you said that they need to square up, and then you laughed.
Nah, it was the way you said it. Right there was like nice and calm, but you were saying it like with your chest.
Yes, I was. Because I felt it. I felt it in my bones. And no, they didn't
square up.
You guys need to listen. That's me as manager. Everyone, circle up. We need to square up tonight, okay?
Nice.
Eyes on me. 1, 2, 3. Leo, I'm looking at you. The 69 ERA, we need to get that down, okay? Let's get that down to 50 today. 54 even.
Goodness.
God. Speaking of, one of the things we've been hearing almost all season long is that fans want more from Dan Wilson. It's totally fair, but I want to get into specifics. What do you want? What's the role of a manager in baseball right now? That's next.
Outside of quarterback, for real, we got the hardest position on the field, man.
The big-time players.
They can't beat us throwing the ball.
Make big-time plays.
Ball picked up. Witherspoon comes near side.
And a big-time Seahawk.
Witherspoon, 97 yards.
He's locked in for the long haul.
Spoon and the soul of our defense. Spoon is the heart of it.
Spoon's extension. And what's next for the Hawks? All at SeattleSports.com. And the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Let's go.
When you order a ride from a rideshare company, do you know what you're getting? Big rideshare companies have been caught failing to protect passengers from dangerous drivers and not supporting drivers and passengers after an accident, all to protect their profits. That's why if you've been injured in a rideshare vehicle, you need Davis Law Group to protect you. Their in-house team of investigators and legal staff has a successful track record of taking on rideshare companies, and they've won millions. Visit DavisLawGroupSeattle.com.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Summer is for going big.
Julio! Dead center field, solo home run, 4-0 Mariners.
Summer is for showing out.
Crawford, out of the glove, Emerson to first. What a play!
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Cal Raleigh with an RBI double. The big thumper comes through in the clutch.
Where else do you get 9 innings of eye-popping swings and snags? Plus fireworks that make your feet dance and your jaw drop. Oh yeah, and the guys have a dance of their own, a wind dance.
Party time at T-Mobile Park in the sunshine.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
The action continues at T-Mobile Park all summer long. Don't miss out on 2 great matchups later this month. Julio and the Mariners are squaring off in back-to-back interleague series against the Chicago Cubs, August 21st to 23rd, and the Philadelphia Phillies, August 24th to 26th. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Mr. K's Construction reminds parents 460,000 children are reported missing in our country every year. Please plan with your kids a safe, visible route to and from activities with at least one friend. Coach your kids to stay alert and be aware of their surroundings, and caution your children to never accept gifts or rides from strangers. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Mr. K's Construction, committed to making your home and our community beautiful since 1977.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Football, baby! Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Klein Jewelers is all about celebrating big anniversaries. What's a big anniversary? Year 1, year 5, year 25. If you forgot about it, you'll find out just how big it is. No matter the year, Klein Jewelers is here to help you celebrate with something beautiful. Maybe it's a 3-stone ring that honors your past, present, and future. Maybe it's a new band to stack or the diamond upgrade you've been dreaming about. And while we love anniversaries, we're here for all life's special moments too. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Your jeweler for life.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations and save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Okay, I don't just want to talk totally in abstract here, although some of the things that we're going to be discussing, qualities that we want, are intangible. That being said, what's the role of a manager? And I'm talking baseball team in 2026. I am not talking about an Earl Weaver. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be realistic about what baseball is today, what players are like today, what analytics are today. What does a good manager do? When you look around the league and you look at Pat Murphy or Kevin Cash or whoever, Terry Francona for that matter, and what do great managers do? What do you want Dan to do? Because we can all complain about in-game management or whatever else, but like, what do you want in a manager of this team? What do you want to see more of from Dan?
What do I want to see more of?
Or just what's something where you're like, I feel like they need this from a manager. I feel like a manager does this to get this out.
I think a manager has to be themselves. And I saw him kind of step out of what we're used to seeing, right? Getting aggressive with the blue. Showing some emotion one game when they beat the Dodgers, I believe, in L.A. Shows some emotion there. But the manager's role is to, one, put your players in, right, do the lineup. I'm sure he has help from upstairs and data and all that stuff. Make decisions when it comes to when to pull your starter and go to the bullpen. Yesterday, we felt like he probably could have gotten Bryce out of the game earlier. Doesn't mean they would have won the game, but there are things that you feel like just have to be done in certain moments. And then finding a way to keep your guys locked in. Like, I wonder if when Julio ran into the dugout after that mishap in the outfield, did he hold him accountable? Did you say something? Like, in that moment, that's when you kind of got to go hard. Lock it in, Julio, come on, man. Mm-hmm. You know, like little things like that. I'm not saying you got to sit there and have like a 5-minute conversation with him. He knows he messed up. He's a professional. But the job of a manager is to nip at things before they become bigger issues and put your players in position to succeed and then lead. And leading can look different. With Dan, doesn't seem like a rah-rah type of guy, but he can say some things at the right time to lock guys in. He could, like you said, when I was in high school, we got beat so bad one time. My coach did exactly that. Fletcher, we're not even going to watch this film. Like, that was the worst game we've ever played. We're never going to play like that again. You guys aren't that. That's just happened today. And then there were some times where we played a team that was so bad, he wouldn't let us watch the film because he didn't want us to see how horrible they were and not have a great week of practice. Those are the little things. I interviewed Jim Moore yesterday for some Pac-12 stuff, and he's at Colorado State now. And he said he's a plagiarizer. And I go, what do you mean by that? He says, I copy anything that works from any other coach, any other organization, he focuses on Kobe to anybody. If there's something that someone is doing that I think can help my team, I'm going to plagiarize. And I go, perfect. We all do that. We copycat. So who is Dan plagiarizing right now? Who is he calling? Who is he leaning on? Because he doesn't have a lot of experience in this whole thing.
No, I think that Dan is playing the role from afar, what it looks like to me. Because guys love Dan. I think Dan's playing the role of, like, I'm a mentor. And that's exactly who he was within this organization. One thing I saw that I liked yesterday that I would love to see more of from a modern manager, I like seeing this, was on the other side. It was Murphy after Jake Bowers scored that run and Cal wanted to call out that he batted Cal's glove with his hands. And you can do it. You can have an unintentional run-in or collision that knocks the ball out, but it can't be intentional. So Cal's arguing at this point that it's intentional. Anyways, so Jake Bowers, in doing that, which I thought was intentional, overshoots the base and then has to turn around and touch home. He gets in the tag he touches home before Cal touches him. But either way, as Bowers leaves, there's a very quick shot of Pat Murphy turning to him. And I don't know exactly what he's saying. He's doing one of two things. Either like, hey, explain to me what happened here, what's going on, or he's saying, what are you doing? Because whether it's, hey, that's lame, don't do that. Or it's, in trying to do this, you didn't touch home. We almost lost that run. Who sent you? Why are you going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was close. Like, he is immediately correct. Whatever it is he's talking about, there is an immediate conversation happening between Murphy and Bowers. We don't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something, when I think of modern management, that a manager has control over immediately. Those conversations, those moments of accountability. It's the first inning. Like, in this moment, it's your first run, it's the first inning, and there's immediately kind of whatever it is they're talking about, an attempt to either understand or correct.
Yep.
And I thought that was interesting. And so those are moments like Dan didn't throw the ball into the stands and lose track of outs. That's on Julio. That's on your player. But you do set the tone for accountability. You do set the tone for what happens when you make mistakes. And if you see mistakes made over and over and over and over, especially mental mistakes, it is hard not to look at a manager and go, okay, maybe Dan is a wonderful mentor and a guy that is always in their corner. Who's being the bad guy? Who's tough? Who's being bad cop? Who's, you know what I mean? Like, you do need that from a manager too. I'm sorry, you do.
You have to be okay with conflict. Mm-hmm. And conflict doesn't necessarily mean we're hooting and hollering at each other and things are going to get physical. Conflict is like someone's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to make someone uncomfortable. You got to hold guys accountable. And I think Dan does it. I don't think he just sits there and lets the team run itself, but it feels like it isn't tight enough. Mm-hmm. You know, someone's saying, who cares it was 19-0 when Julio threw the ball into the stands? You know what? Loser mentality. Any team that I've ever coached, I don't care if we are down 50-7.
That's a dumb mistake.
We're still going to line up. We're going to compete. We're going to do things the right way. Because if you let anything slide, then it becomes snowball effect. And not even, it can happen subconsciously. And I'm not saying Julio's going to sit there and be like, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do. But if you let one thing slide, subconsciously in an athlete's mind, that's okay. And I don't have to respond a certain way in certain situations. Not saying Julio would think that. That stuff just happens. I've coached 1,000 athletes in my day. I've gotten beaten 70-7. I've won 70-7. And whatever's happening, the way you do things, you have to be consistent with your approach. If this is your philosophy, this is where you want your team to be, no matter what the score is, no matter where you are, no matter who's playing, there has to be a consistency on how you do things.
Yes.
And I think that's important.
That's a great. So you want to see consistency. Someone else said, I want to see passion. I will say, I agree with Bump on this one earlier. You can't fake it. No. If that's not who you are, I think players can sniff out a lack of authenticity from a mile away. Mm-hmm. So if that's not who you are, don't be that person. But you have to be good at something. If you're not going to have, let's say you're a manager that doesn't have like the best feel for the game, like you tend to be a guy that like, yeah, I let my pitcher stay in longer than he should have. Not ideal, not what I would love to see. But are you great at setting a tone, a culture, accountability, at getting the absolute most out of your guys? This team has been injured. They've been banged up. Dan can't control it if Cal is just completely lost at the plate. But I also don't think that this team is getting the most out of their players right now.
Yeah.
The absolute most.
They're not. Clearly, they're not.
So I think there's just certain things that I want to see. In terms of what you have to say to the team after this, I think Dan probably does have the right approach here. Flush it. We can't. We got 2 more games to play. We're not going to ruminate on, like, I'm not going to throw things and break things in the clubhouse and tell you to get it together. Like, we have to play game 2 today.
I'll tell you one thing. Them dudes better be embarrassed and do something about it. I feel the embarrassment. 22-0. Biggest deficit in modern baseball history. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Get Off My Lawn coming your way next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game in the books. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
You know, I played basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. 3 Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Anybody can promise you a good deal. What matters is who's making the promise. At every Lee Johnson dealership, we'll work hard to get you the best deal we can.
The LJ Way.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Right now is the perfect time to save some money, and one of the easiest ways to save? Take the First Mark Challenge. Molly and I took the First Mark Insurance Challenge, and we saved thousands of dollars the first year with First Mark Insurance, and we've been saving ever since. Here's how. First Mark Insurance works for you, not one insurance company. They compare rates and coverage from dozens of the top-rated carriers. Then they go to work to find you the right coverage at the lowest possible price for your needs. And when you need them, well, you'll talk to a real person who knows you and is there to help you. That's the kind of world-class service that has kept us with First Mark year after year after year. Take the First Mark Challenge today. It costs you nothing. There's no obligation, and you'll find out just how much money you could be saving every single month. You could be the next First Mark Challenge victory. They've had over 11,000 of them. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com. What are you waiting for? Your savings? They start tomorrow. firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
Ken's Pool and Patio reminds parents swimming is a healthy outlet for kids if we remember to put safety first. Make sure your children are visible at all times by a lifeguard or responsible adult. Sign them up for swimming lessons and provide a flotation device for added safety. Always check swimming conditions in advance and remind your kids to never swim alone. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Ken's Pool and Patio, your family-owned full-service pool company, proudly serving you for over 50 years. Online at kenspool.com.
Mariners and Brewers today in Milwaukee. 4:40 first pitch, 3:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Need a heavy lift? Levitt Machinery is now your Taylor lift equipment dealer in Washington and Oregon. Engineered for extreme duty durability. Taylors are designed for demanding environments with uptime built into every machine. When the work is tough, Taylor delivers. And now backed by Levitt Machinery in the Pacific Northwest. LevittMachinery.com. Give us a call today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hello, my friends. It's DeGraws here, encouraging you to golf local. Our region is blessed with a ton of golf that isn't very expensive and can accommodate all types of skill levels. Check out the premier courses at Bellevue, Bill Wright, Cedar Crest, Interbay, Jackson Park, Lake Padden, Legion Memorial, Linwood, or Walter Hall. You know, wherever you are in Western Washington, you're not far from a premier course. Why not book a tee time online or play Top Tracer at the range at Interbay, Bill Wright, and Jackson Park? So what are you waiting for? Play the courses. Play Premier.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Seahawks sure seem concerned about something. Getting to that in less than 15 minutes right now. It's time for Get Off My Lawn. Bump, you got 3 things grinding your gears this week. You got to complain about them. So what's on your mind?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
This is preseason edition. This Get Off My Lawn. So I need people to do something. Go to these games. I believe 57,000 is what we saw on Hard Knocks. 57,000 people showed up to this preseason game. It was loud in there. It was fun. That's what's up. But this is what I need you to do, okay? I remember the first time I went snowboarding, I told my boy, hey, I'm going snowboarding. He goes, make sure you go with someone who knows what they're doing. Don't go out there with 3 novices and you guys are out there just don't know the etiquette, don't know what you're doing, you're jacking things up. I go, cool. And I tell people all the time, too, when you go golfing, you're playing 18 holes, go with someone who knows the etiquette of the game, who tells you when to pick up the ball, keeps the pace going, because you don't know what you don't know, and you're going to get people mad. You're going to get them mad, okay? So I'm telling people, if you are going to a NFL football game, go with someone who knows the game, even just a little bit. Go with someone who knows the game just a little bit more than you, right? Because then you can learn something. Because, Stacy, last game after I called the second quarter, you know, I do my lap in the third quarter, and I like to feel the game. And usually I just walk. This time, there's an open seat. That's when I ran into Ian, and I sat down and watched the game. And I sat down on the wrong people, okay? So I got 3 things that I heard that drove me crazy. First one, this lady yells out, "Aren't you Super Bowl champions? Play like it."
I know that's right.
Finally, someone's holding them accountable.
Don't you have the best defense in the league? Play like it.
I know that's right.
Tell him, sis.
And I said, ma'am, I didn't say this, but I looked at her. I'm like, I bet you can't name 5 players on that field right now. I bet you can't. I bet you don't even know who the quarterback for the Cowboys are right now. The champions aren't on the field right now, Miss Daisy. They're not on the field right now. The champions are on the sideline with bucket hats and towels and no pads on. No, they're not going to play like champions. It's the preseason. You go out there to support your team, have fun. You treat that preseason game like Lil Bobby's soccer game on Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning. Just have fun. Go out there and see if you can find a baller or 2. Try to understand the game and what they're doing. If you are going to a preseason game, all right, this is a time to learn.
You're clapping for Cowboys players. Love his
It's time to
story.
learn.
Love his story.
She said, "Aren't you champions? You just won a Super Bowl."
You know what?
Ma'am,
That's
Rodney
the kind
Thomas
of
did not win a Super Bowl. Okay, he didn't win a Super Bowl. Drove me crazy. And then she's vibing off of somebody else. They're like, ping, ping, ping. They're going back
I'm
and
just
forth.
glad someone had the courage to say that in the stadium.
Oh, I'm sorry that honesty drove you crazy.
Goodness gracious. All right, next up.
Get her in the
I'm a man.
house.
I'm 40.
Hey, I'll give her this. Passionate. Very passionate. All right, next up.
I already gave you your sound.
Understand. Oh yeah. I'm just collecting my thoughts.
Oh, okay.
I'm just collecting my thoughts. I'm getting deep here.
Curtis said you're getting kind of entitled right now.
Curtis is like, God, you do one episode of Hard Knocks.
You get one sound effect and one sound effect only.
All right. If you're going to these games, it's preseason. Understand that the starters aren't going to be out there. Same lady. Where's the Darian Price? Lady, did you not pick up your phone all day?
She's doing a bit, right?
Like what? No, and I'm looking at her, and she's serious.
Her.
She's standing up. Like, you know when people get mad, their face starts shaking and stuff? Her face is shaking. Where's the Darian Price?
He was supposed to be here.
I'm like, ma'am, you see him? He's right there. No pads on.
He wouldn't have played anyway.
No, he wouldn't have played. This is what I mean. Go to the game with someone who knows a little bit more than you.
I love
so
it.
you don't sound ridiculous, because you know what you do when people say something crazy, and then I look around and see if anyone else heard it. I'm like, y'all hear that, man? She's tripping over there.
You know what, though? Her saying, where's Jadarian Price and not Sam Darnold, ball knower. That's a rookie. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Hear me out. She knows, I think, more than maybe some fans did that day.
Hey, 206, I'm with you. It says, new fans are welcome. Yeah, they are welcome, for sure. I'm trying to save them from the embarrassment, though, because most of the people in that bubble I was in was looking at her like, calm down. Like, what are you doing?
I think she's incredible.
Cheer this team on. So
I think we should have her on as a weekly guest.
I think someone needs to tell her that Jadarian's probably not going to play this week. Someone needs to tell her he's probably not going to play. Someone needs to tell her that if you do see Sam, it's only for a little bit. That's what I mean. Just go with someone, because now you're stressed out for no reason. You going with the right mental. You won't be yelling at Jadarian because he ain't there. All right, you won't be calling them, asking if they're still champions. The banner's right there. They're gonna hang it. Don't worry about it. They are champions. Okay, they're gonna hang the banner.
They better be.
All right, last one.
Okay.
Oh, this is my bad.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Last one. 206 says, Bump, it's preseason. Anything goes. Okay, I'm just saying. People gonna look at you funny. All right, last one. Understanding like kind of the rules of the game. There's so many rules in football. Even I don't know all of them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes something will pop up. I'm like, is that a 15-yard, 10-yard, 5-yard? Like, what is that? All right. But I'll tell you what you shouldn't do. When there is a flag on the play, it's called a penalty. All right. Someone's saying, they keep fouling us. They keep fouling us. I go, yeah, I get technically they're fouling you, but it's just a penalty. Say too many penalties. I'm just trying to teach the people, you know, the right language out there. And this lady was going ham, and it was entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I was smiling, having fun, and you know, there's a foul on the play, but it's a penalty. It's a foul and a penalty. But I would encourage her to be like, you know, another penalty. You know what I'm saying? There's another penalty. Too many penalties out there. And that was the least of the three, but she had already built up so much equity in not saying the right things that I was like, okay, this is it. I need to move now.
Well.
Oh, dang.
I have some Seahawks breaking news for you. The Seahawks are signing cornerback Trevon Diggs per Adam Schefter. Quick reaction to that. Now, we will talk much more about this because the next segment we were actually planning.
Perfect lead-in.
Yeah, perfect lead-in, because we were just going to talk about the Seahawks cornerback depth. You know what? Why don't we do that? Let's hit pause. Bump you already know plenty about him, but do some additional digging, whatever you want to do, because we're going to talk about Seahawks cornerback depth, about the team, breaking news, signing free agent cornerback Trevon Diggs, that from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Quickly, today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. Logan Gilbert takes on Brewers righty Dustin May today, 4:40 p.m. first pitch against the Brewers. All right, well, Seahawks just signed, according to Adam Schefter, Trevon Diggs. We're going to talk about what it means for cornerback depth, what he's bringing to this team coming up next.
Outside of quarterback, for real, we got the hardest position on the field, man.
The big-time players.
They can't beat us throwing the ball.
Make big-time plays.
Ball picked up. Witherspoon comes near side.
And a big-time Seahawk.
Witherspoon, 97 yards.
He's locked in for the long haul.
Spoon and the soul of our defense. Spoon is the heart of it.
Spoon's extension. And what's next for the Hawks. All at SeattleSports.com. And the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Let's go.
Looking for a new Mazda? Check out Mazda of Everett during the More to Move You sales event. As the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, they have over 700 new Mazdas in stock and are known for always offering the Mazda of Everett price. Awarded Mazda's President's Award 13 years in a row and ranked among the top 20 Mazda dealers in the USA for customer service. Shop at 11409 Highway 99 in Everett or MazdaofEverett.com. Dealer awards and rankings based on Mazda USA reporting and data.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
Our work is measured not in numbers, but in the lives made lighter, calmer, and brighter through compassionate care. That's the mission statement of Northwest Ketamine Clinics. And for those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, at Northwest Ketamine Clinics, there is hope. During August only, their Advanced Healing Series is $300 off. That includes 6 infusions, a private treatment suite, and provider check-ins, all at one flat fee with no hidden add-ons. Northwest Ketamine Clinics was the first ketamine clinic in the Northwest, opening 9 years ago. With locations in Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue, they've given more than 50,000 treatments. Everyone's path to healing is different. Schedule a consultation today to find out if ketamine therapy is right for you. They have immediate availability, so you can get started this week. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Fall Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 29th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit luckyoldcar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Progressive knows you've never met Channel 6 meteorologist Daniel Hughes, but when he says it'll be sunny, you trust him. After all, he is a weather professional who knows how to use a green screen and probably went to weather school. You never went to weather school, so you hit the farmer's market in your convertible. Turns out Daniel Hughes is not dependable. But Progressive is, so bundle your home and auto insurance and get 24/7 protection and reliable coverage. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Seattle Seahawks have a new cornerback, and it's not Terrion Arnold. While the team still does reportedly plan to sign Terrion Arnold, ESPN's Adam Schefter reports this afternoon Seattle will sign two-time Pro Bowl cornerback Trevon Diggs to a one-year deal. The Seahawks inked Devin Witherspoon, their top corner, to a new deal this past weekend, but they do have some injury concerns there, including one to rookie Julian Neal.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. I'm the host of this show. I'm the host, okay? I know.
I'm a host, too.
Wow.
You're a host, but you're an analyst. Former players,
Dang.
listen.
You hear that, Curtis?
No, listen.
I do.
Listen.
Wow.
Bump is clearly the host, but what I'm saying is former players, they're the smart ones, okay? They're the names that you're tuning in for. They're the second chairs. They're the analysts. They're the guys that played. I'm driving the car, though. You know what I mean? I'm driving the car, and I'm asking Bump all the questions. But one of the benefits of my job is that I get to read breaking news alerts. I get to read the breaking news. I get to do that. And yet, Seth in Fresno texting in, Stacy, would really love to actually get the breaking news drop from HBO Hard Knocks voice Mike Bumpus, please. So I've been pushed aside. Bump, go ahead and read the breaking news.
See, but I'm going to keep my regular voice. Stacy goes, breaking news live here from Seattle.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
No, I'll be like, hey, listen up, breaking news. Hawks is signing Pro Bowl cornerback Trevon Diggs. Let's go get it. Lace him up, put the pads on, and contribute to this team. Because we got Super Bowl championships. Let's go get another one, Trevon Diggs. That's how you do breaking news my way.
I will say my breaking news are not, they're not as cool.
Let me hear yours.
Breaking news. The Seahawks are signing Pro Bowl cornerback Trevon Diggs per ESPN's Adam Schefter. That's it. That's where it ends.
Right.
I'm from a news background.
I'm still learning.
No, yours is way better. Admittedly, way better. I thght you guys were going to do sad trombone music in the background of mine. So I was.
Well,
prepared.
we thought it was only fair.
That was a way better version. Jokes aside, we are going to lean on you a lot for this segment. So let's get into it. First, the news itself, which you heard Bump read beautifully. The Seahawks are signing two-time Pro Bowl cornerback Trevon Diggs. Initially, before this news even broke, there was a report this morning that they worked him out. And so what I was planning to do here is just go, hey, Bump, what does it say about how the Seahawks feel about their own cornerback depth, that they're reportedly going to sign Terrion Arnold, that they're working out Trevon Diggs? Should we be worried about something? You know, what's going on here? That's what this was supposed to be about.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've officially signed Diggs, which to me feels like a team that wants to shore up that room for sure. What are they getting in Diggs, who was a free agent? I mean, it's not like they made a trade for a huge name.
The first thing people think about when you hear Trevon Diggs is, 11 interceptions that one year. That was in 2021.
That was 10 years ago.
That felt like it was maybe a couple seasons ago, but that was in 2021. So far in his career, he has 20 interceptions. So he has a year of 3-11, 3-1, and 2. Hasn't been able to really stay healthy after that. I believe he tore his ACL in 2023. Played 2 games. In 2024, 11 games. In 25, 8 games. Last year with Green Bay, 1 game. So naturally you're thinking, okay, durability might be an issue with this guy. He is how old is this young man? He's born in 1998. So what is he, like 28 maybe?
Wow, he's younger than I thought.
Yeah. Quick film study of watching Diggs. Didn't have a lot of time to watch him, so I went back to his prime year, right? I went back to 2021 and said, all right, if you get a guy who is locked in, healthy, ready to go, what are you going to get? And obviously that was the year that he had all of his interceptions, or most of his interceptions. I saw a guy who was great at the line when it comes to press. How big is he? He is, don't have his measurables here. Good at the line when it comes to press, long arms, and great instincts. Even in zone, he did a good job reading the quarterback's eyes and getting after the football. Here's a caveat when it comes to him, though. He gave up 1,016 yards that year. He had 11 interceptions. Extremely aggressive. The most any corner has given up in the league that year. The next closest guy was Anthony Brown at 862 yards. He played for Carolina. So it's a gift and a curse. I'm just going off of 21. All right, guys, I had 5 to 6 minutes to study this thing. Give me more, and I'll have even deeper analysis for you tomorrow.
That's why I'm glad I'm not the analyst.
But no,
reading a single sentence.
You see his instincts. He has instincts, but those instincts obviously can get you in trouble because now you're jumping things. You're more susceptible to double moves. That's why he gave up all those yards. But I think that you got a good football player. You have a good football player, a guy who's shown that he can be elite in this league, and I think he's going to be a depth piece. Can he work his way into maybe a more prominent role? Yeah, he could, but right now they're bringing him in for depth.
Big picture, should I be worried about what the Seahawks think about their own cornerback depth? These are not the moves of a team that feels absolutely solid about that group. Unless it just so happens that there happen to be 2 free agent cornerbacks and John Schneider, in doing his due diligence and just kind of finding random guys, thought, oh, these 2 are interesting. But I don't think it's a coincidence they're both cornerbacks.
Well, listen, we got Julian Neal, who's questionable. He's been banged up. Shamar Jean-Charles, who played in that the last preseason games on the IR now. At left corner, on ESPN at least, I got Devin Witherspoon listed there. You got Michael Dansby, who's a rookie. You have Andre Fuller, who's a rookie. You have Nehemiah Pritchett, it's been tough for him to get on the football field, right? He's been more of a special teams guy. So I'm looking at maybe the Devin Witherspoon complex, right? You want to move him into that nickel spot. And you got Josh Jobin outside, and maybe you're looking for another outside corner. That means that Dansby, Fuller, and Pritchett have not done enough to really impress so far.
Okay,
They've
so
probably had their
that's what we're
moments,
taking.
but haven't done a lot.
Okay. Was it a mistake to let Reek Woolen go in hindsight? You can't win everything.
No,
like,
I
there's
mean-
always going to be guys. They didn't cut Reek Woolen. He signed with another team. You can't sign every contract.
No, you place your value on that position in that player, and if they're able to go get some more money, they go get more money. No, I think that Reek was such a tough one because athletically, there's not too many corners that can do what he can do. But, he had those lapses. I was listening to, preparing for the Cowboys game I was going to call, I hit up my boy, JB Long. He's the voice for the Rams. I go, all right, any tips? What's going on? Help me out. He goes, all right, we have a conversation. And then he sends me, he goes, I'm going to send you the second or third quarter of the NFC Championship game so you can hear kind of how I did things. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm listening to it. And Reek makes a big play. Boom, on third down. Boom, have to put it on the foot. Actually, first down Rams, taunting on 27. Remember that? Taunting on 27. And I was reminded in that moment.
I'd forgotten.
I'm like, damn, I forgot Reek had that issue where he just couldn't walk away. So little things like that, I think, hindered Reek from reaching his full potential here. Maybe somewhere else, things will be better. But sometimes you just want a corner that's going to be disciplined and do exactly what you're asking him to do. I don't know Diggs like that. I don't know his personality. On the text line, there's someone saying that he's a low-character guy. I'll do my reference checks on that. But from what I've seen in the, 5 to 8 minutes that I broke down or watching film on him, he's got instincts, but those instincts can get you in trouble. So it's better, we've had this conversation, it's better to tell a guy to ease up than, okay, be aggressive and go get the ball. And I think that's what you'll have to do with Diggs.
Okay, rather than leaning on, hey, what did you see in 5 minutes of watching tape, let's lean on stuff that you already know about this defense and how they like to do things. If they were to lose Leonard Williams and then need to find a replacement, we'd be talking about, well, you need to find someone that can do this, this, and this, and they'd be big things, right? Big contributions. Devin Witherspoon's your guy. That's your dude in that room.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you need to find to still be the defense that you want? I would imagine it's a smaller list than if you needed to find a leading edge rusher.
Well, let's talk about what you lost. You lost a tall, fast corner who at times showed some promise. You lost a safety who was probably like the attitude on the back end in Kobe. And then you lost a Boye Mafe who I think is still developing and doing his thing. So what do you need to replace that? You just need raw athleticism. Because when you look at Reek, he wasn't the most technical corner. He was raw. He only played so many games at the position, but was a Pro Bowler 1 year and showed that he can do it. So you need a guy who can do some things that the average athlete can't do, and I think Diggs can do that when he's healthy. You always want that on defense, right? You want someone, I think especially on this defense, who has the ball skills, and that's something that Reek wasn't the greatest at. Sometimes the ball would be in the air, and he would misjudge it or not track it. That's not going to be a problem with Diggs, even though his interceptions numbers have gone down, but I think that's mostly because of health. He's got to stay healthy. And really, overall, I just need depth because these are the guys who are going to obviously play defense and help out on special teams. And maybe if you do find a starter in Diggs or Terrion, that allows guys like Dansby, Fuller, and Pritchett to continue to develop and not put them out there. If they felt like Dansby, Fuller, Pritchett, Washington were all ready to go, this move would not have been made.
I definitely do not want this team to have massive cornerback questions entering into the season. I don't think that people, for as much respect as Devin gets, you're right. He's someone that they kind of use in the slot. They use him all over the place. He's not like a more traditional outside corner. This team did not have names there that around the league people were like, that's a shutdown guy. And yet, they were still the best defense wire to wire. I look at where the Rams struggled last year. I immediately go to Emmanuel Forbes. I look at their loss to the Panthers. They allowed 4 massive plays. 2 of them, I believe, touchdowns. At least one of them a touchdown, but 2 massive plays on 4th and long. And in part, a big part of why they lost to Bryce Young and the Panthers that day was specifically because of their cornerback play. It's why they added McDuffie in the offseason. It's why they shored up that defense. It was the single biggest kind of difference outside of special teams between them and the Seahawks was like their secondary had weaknesses. Their defense allowed 30-plus points in way too many games. I don't want that to be the story of Seattle's defense because of some injuries to the secondary.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. I'm going to be honest.
Yep. And I think we shouldn't be nervous, but obviously we should pay attention to what's going on because they went and signed 2 DBs within the last, 7 days?
That's what I'm saying.
If they weren't concerned about that room, I don't think they do this. And I also think that maybe it's just, I'm probably going to answer the same question in 4 down, but it's really just not putting the pressure on those young guys. There's some young guys who are ready to go. Spoon was one of those guys. You put him in right now, he's ready to go. There's other guys who need a bit more time. I think Pritchard's on, his 3rd year, I believe. Dansby and Fuller are rookies. Like, if you're not 100% sure that they're capable, then you don't put them in. Spoon was drafted, 5th overall?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he going to play, right? If you're drafted 5th overall, coming out of college, you are established as one of the best corners in the game. Where it comes to Dansby and Fuller, these guys were, 7th round, 6th round picks. Guys who can contribute on special teams, but you're not expecting them to be Richard Sherman out there and coming and do his thing. So I think they're covering their rear ends. They're making sure that youngsters have room to develop, or they feel like they're just not ready to go and we need an established corner.
If you're just joining us, per ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Seahawks are adding another cornerback. They're signing 2-time Pro Bowler Trevon Diggs, who is a free agent, obviously, to add some depth to this room that's already experienced injuries, including one to rookie Julian Neal. Terrion Arnold, they still reportedly have plans to sign, but he is obviously not eligible to play, going to be placed on the commissioner's exempt list, and we are not anticipating that he plays until well into the season, given that his next hearing is October 5th. You got a couple questions here. Can I just say how upset I'm going to be the second, because I know it's coming, that your voice is going to be the promo for it?
No, it's not. Nah.
I don't know.
They want more structure in those things. That's where you come in.
Look, I'm devastated. The Hard Knocks thing, I'm going to be honest. It's put a wedge between us.
Hey, so
it's hard not to be jealous of your friends that are more, when you see people living your dream.
I was on the road yesterday and my producer hit me up. He was like, hey, word on the street is you're going to be on Hard Knocks for sure. I'm like, I'm on the road. I use Stacy's HBO Max's sign-in. I go, hey, Stacy, man, word on the street is I'm going to be on HBO. Can I get your sign-in? She hangs up on me. Click.
That's
wow. Hung up on your boy. At first, I thought it was like, the call just dropped and I called her back. She goes, I needed space.
I actually pressed end call.
Unbelievable.
Devastated. You have a question from a listener, 206. Leadership, they said. Who's the man in the DB room I think personality-wise? And I think they're looking at, these are some – look, you're making character risks in 2 of these signings. There's a reason these guys are free agents outside of just injuries. And so they want to know, who do you see as, the leadership in that room? Where's it coming from? Is it strong enough?
That's actually pretty good because you look at the starters, Josh Jobe, who is still coming into his own even though he got some money this year, right? It's his 5th season, but he doesn't stand out as a leader guy. You have Spoon, who you would expect to be a leader because he's worth $100 million right now. But, he's 25 years of age. But I think you probably have to lean on Spoon in the DB room, in the corner room at least. When all the defensive backfield is together, it's J-Love all day. You know what I mean? That's his team or his squad. But I think you got to look at Spoon. And it's okay to look at Spoon. This is his 4th year? He's getting paid that much money. We heard J-Love talk about Spoon, how he's a professional. He shows up every day. It's hard because you look at him, and he looks so young. He looks like he's 20 years old. So if you're a veteran coming in or one of these guys in the room, you're like, he's going to lead? In my room, we had OGs. We had Nate Burleson, Bobby Ingram. It's easy to look at a guy who's been in the league 8+ years and say, okay, that's
he's 30.
The leader. Yeah.
He's getting millions.
Spoon, I think, has to be a leader. I've heard he's somewhat of a leader already, lead by example type of guy. But when you worth $100 million just by putting your name on a piece of paper, you got to be a guy.
All right, let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what does JSN do that you teach your wideouts?
JSN is one of the smoothest receivers I've seen in a long time. I compared him to Jerry Rice. We had a texter text in and said Marvin Harrison. I could see that too. I think Marvin played a little higher than JSN, but I get the comparison. But he's smooth. So if you ever ran track or just sprinted at all, I teach my guys.
Never.
You got to find, like, especially if we're in my facility, I'll teach them, look at something on the wall. Maybe it's a letter or whatnot. And when we're running our routes vertically, you want that letter or whatever you're looking at, minimal bounce. Because when you run, there's going to be a kind of a bounce, right? Minimal bounce. If you can keep that thing from bouncing a lot, it's going to move. Mm-hmm. That means you're efficient and you're not wasting any movement. I would imagine when JSN runs, there's minimal bounce when he runs, right? If you were to look at something that's going to move because you're moving, but there isn't a lot of bounce, that means he's smooth and every step is efficient and he's running behind his pads. I think that's one of the best things that JSN does. He even runs routes differently than I would teach it, but some guys are so good, they can run it that way. Like, he'll run an in-breaking route and break hard off his inside foot. I would never teach that. I would say, like, if you're rolling the route, you can start the roll on your inside foot, but your outside has to push you there. Jason is so strong and so unorthodox sometimes that he can just roll it with the inside and push and get there. Some guys just got it like that. But it's being smooth, man. And all the top receivers are smooth. You look at Justin Jefferson, Jabbar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, these guys are smooth. But there's a non-violence that comes with Jason's game that only he can get away with at this point.
So what's something that an opposing corner is watching for covering JSN that JSN isn't giving him easily? Is it pad level? Is it an indication that he's going inside?
Well,
like, what's he looking for?
One, you're looking at hips. Don't look him in the eyes. Don't look at his feet. You look at the hips because the body is going wherever the hips are going.
They don't lie.
The hips don't lie. They tell you the truth. If they turn in, he's turning in. Now there's double moves. We saw on Hard Knocks last night. We call it a whip route. He breaks in and breaks back out. But you got to keep your eyes on those dang hips. If you look at his eyes, his arms, his shoulders, his feet, he's going to get you. And I teach my guys to look at the DB's eyes for that reason. Look him dead in the eye. It's going to freeze him. I tell him by the second quarter, I need to know the color of that DB's eyes. I need to know if he has a mark on his face because you are freezing him with those eyes. I think Jason does a good job of that. Like, it's almost like, look up here. Don't look at my hips. Look up here. Look at me. Look at me. And you get him. Jason is just one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Second down. Why do you think the Hawks are looking for defensive backs?
Well,
I mean, had a workout, just sign someone else.
I mean, we just talked about it, but there's some concern in that room. There's some concern. It could be because of age. It could be depth. It could be performance. Either way you slice it, there's concern in that room. And if I'm one of these young guys, if I am Dansby, if I'm Fuller, if I'm Pritchett, if I'm Jordan Washington, I'm perking up. And I have to prove my worth on this team. And how are these guys going to do it? It's all special teams for them now. Granted, you have to be disciplined and where you're supposed to be defensively. You can't just say, okay, I'm just going to focus on specials. You got to be able to run the scheme. But they're bringing this in as a challenge to these young guys too. And this is the business of football. It is not personal. They're not bringing a guy in because they don't like Dansby. They're not bringing a guy in because they don't like Fuller. They're bringing them in because that room is young, even with the leadership of Spoon in the DB room, the corner room, not all the DBs. That's J Love's role. But there's some concern there. What's the concern? We can't pinpoint it, but I can narrow it down to three things: leadership, youth, performance. One of those three they're concerned about.
I'm still getting texts in from people saying how cool it was to hear you on Hard Knocks. And someone else said, we are going to contact the producers of Hard Knocks and let them know we don't want Stacy on. And I think that's crazy.
Wow.
That's very personal. Look, I'm not hurting anyone by trying desperately to get on the show. And I support, Bump is my friend. He's like a brother to me. I support his endeavor, and I was so happy when I heard you on there.
After you hung up on me.
After I hung up on you. It just took me a minute. Sometimes we process things at different speeds, and that's okay. Third down. What's something cool from last night?
Man, I thought it was so cool that Russell played in the game and then left at halftime to go help wifey with the birth of the child. And coach is like, hey, you need a ride there? You good? Even through all the chaos, coach is making sure that Brady Russell is good to go. And Brady, I'm telling you, with the injury to Oots, Brady's importance to this team just escalated a bunch. But no, that's the human part of this thing. People forget these guys are human, and it's crazy how They did a scene where Brady Russell's wife is laying there. She's like, man, I'm 42 weeks. This baby should have been out. And I felt it in that moment. I go, oh, yeah, that thing's going to pop out during the game. Watch. And lo and behold, it happened. So congratulations to Russell. We see him a lot at VMAG, just walking through the room and all that stuff. But I thought that was cool that even with everything Mike McDonald has to take care of and adjust real quick at halftime and all that stuff, you made sure to come over and be like, hey, you good?
Yeah.
That's the human part of it. And that's the same dude that Mike McDonald called out for getting that D Hall. You know, that just shows you how things are overblown sometimes, man. When you are playing in a violent game and there's a lot of emotions, you're going to say some things. I've been on the sideline and had coaches go at it. 2 minutes later, all right, man, third down. What do you like here?
Yeah.
You know, that's just something that happens. Then you go after the game, you have a beer, you laugh about it, be like, hey, don't do that again. But yeah, that was funny.
See, that's how normal relationships work. And I feel like sometimes people, when you're observing them as opposed to living them, lose that nuance entirely.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy doesn't like this guy. And it's like, nah. Teammates or coaches or whoever else, they're allowed to have spats, they're allowed to have issues, they're allowed to whatever. JSN is allowed to get into this debate with his coach right now, and it doesn't mean that they don't both like and believe in each other. It's just, and we know that as people because that's how all of our relationships are in real life. But suddenly when we watch them, we start seeing them as black and white.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting too. Fourth down. What did you like from Sam last night?
I loved Sam vouching for Montorie Foster and letting the coaches know for Drew and for Milroe to have success, you need guys like Foster out there. It's a team sport. You can do everything right. One person jacks it up, and the perception of that play is all messed up. Like people yelling at Milroe for not throwing the football the last game didn't see that the offensive lineman missed his block. Guys were covered down the field. All it takes is one guy to kind of mess things up. And when you're playing with 2s and 3s, the likeliness of them getting open, they can still get open, but it's not going to be as smooth as Jason. It's not going to be as smooth as Cooper Kupp or Rashid Shaheed. That's just the reality of it. So I love that Sam made sure that the coaches felt that it was important that these guys have an opportunity to perform at the highest level they can dealing with the 2s and the 3s. And that just shows leadership. And I think the more we watch Hard Knocks, the more I see the leadership from Sam, it's just it's so subtle though. It's such in a different way. So that was cool. Also, Cooper Kupp's in every damn meeting room in the world.
That was the follow-up question I had for you. One of my takeaways I didn't get to in the open was, man, Cooper Kupp is everywhere behind the scenes. Is it normal for a receiver to be, like if you're a top receiver, older receiver, to be in a quarterback meeting?
I think at times it is, but from my experiences, that's the most I've ever seen. But that's why
crazy.
He looks at the game from so many different angles and can explain it in a way that a lot of people can't because he's hearing it from the quarterbacks. He's hearing it from the DBs. He's probably in the O-line room. That's fun, man. I wish when I was playing, I did more of that, but also I was fighting for my life to make the team.
Yeah.
And he is established.
It makes me wonder if that happens with any other position groups. Like I could see Cooper Kupp just being a veteran, tight with Sam.
I know Spoon goes to the receiver.
That's what I was going to ask.
Spoon goes to receivers.
If there are other players who, as representatives of that room, or go to another one and go, okay, now I can communicate what I learned here.
Yep.
I'd be curious to what extent that happens with other groups. You know, an offensive lineman in a pass rush meeting or defensive line meeting or whatever.
It's called cross training.
I know that. No, I didn't. It was really interesting. It was cool to watch. Yeah. The single biggest story in sports right now is slipping entirely under the radar. We'll tell you what's happening next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game in the books. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Hey, Mike Salk here for Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and not all getaways are going to earn 4 diamonds, but you can experience the 4 Diamond Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where the breathtaking views, elevated dining, and world-class gaming and entertainment make the perfect escape. Also, check out upcoming shows. You got 80s pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th, or local rock legends Queensryche on October 10th. Tickets at snocasino.com. You can elevate your next getaway. That's 4 Diamond and Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please, gamers responsibly.
No matter the time of year, working out at home is the best. Brock Hewitt here, and allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have flooring and weights that go right in your home gym. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe, plus free delivery on any mattress. Ends Monday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Holy smokes, I can see. Hey everybody, it's Rick Riz, and I just had refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision, and it's amazing. K2 Vision RLE means no more readers or glasses for me. Plus, I'll never get a cataract. Now, when I call a game, you won't see those readers dangling from the end of my nose to see the field and then my notes. I only wish I had done it sooner. It's like seeing a whole new ball game. K2 Vision RLE was quick and painless, over in just minutes, and I knew I was in great hands. The K2 Vision RLE team has done over 150,000 lens procedures. You can trust their stuff. K2 Vision RLE is my permanent solution to a lifetime of great vision. It could be yours too. Enjoy life's good years without readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Get your free Zoom consult now at K2VisionRLE.com. Then you can make the same call I did. Goodbye, glasses. K2VisionRLE.com.
Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks.
I see you, boy!
Seattle Sports.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Hon, is your new pinball machine in our budget?
KeyBank will meet you in that our money is now our money moment.
Actually, our banker Steve recommended we start a joint checking account for bills and keep our individual accounts for things like pinball machines.
Did someone say Banker Steve? I was in the neighborhood in case you had any checking account questions.
Steve, you're always there for us. Now, how quickly can we open that account?
Steve, are you seeing this?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Hey, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store in Marysville. We are back and open here Tuesday through Saturdays. If you're looking for doors, you need to come and see us. We have an incredible selection of doors to choose from, and currently you can take advantage of our quick turnaround time for pre-hungs and matchups. please visit us here in Marysville at 1046 Cedar Avenue or Monday through Friday in Shoreline on 15th Avenue Northeast. And as always, don't forget to check us out online at franklumber.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy, taking a look at the biggest sports stories today. Typically heading outside of Seattle for this, which we are going to do to start. The latest developments on one of the biggest stories in sports, I think because it's about business and because it is about shady dealings and federal investigations and things that may or may not have happened, that's a lot of information. It's kind of confusing, and it's floating entirely under the radar. But the Dodgers feel like a team that will inevitably be put up for sale very soon, and that could have big implications for players for obvious reasons. So here's the latest developments. Mark Walters is selling off all professional sports assets. He sold his majority stake in the Lakers, which is very controversial after buying it a year ago. He's under federal investigation, and it's not like him personally, but his holdings, so like these insurance companies. The accusations are, my understanding, I'm not a reporter, this isn't me, I'm a sports radio host. My understanding, based on videos I was watching or articles I was trying to read through, I'm not a business person, is that basically it appears as though he was borrowing money from his own insurance companies, a.k.a. using not his own money, to fund a lot of these things. And there are 4 ways that you can make right on that. And only one of them is an option to him, and that's to pay everything off with cash. So that helps explain the very sudden sale of the Lakers a year after getting them. And it's why people think, because he still owes a lot more money, it's why people think that he's going to, in turn, have to sell the Dodgers. Here's the latest from Ramona Shelburne.
I've been asking this question since last week, and I keep getting the same answer from a source close to ownership. The Dodgers are not for sale. Now, if somebody unsolicited makes Mark Walter a big offer, just like Josh Kushner and Bob Iger did, it sounds like they could make that offer and then he'll decide the same way he did with the Lakers. But right now, the Dodgers are not for sale.
They're not for sale unless someone makes an offer. Interesting. Here's the latest from Jeff Passan on with Brock and Salk yesterday, weighing in on some of that craziness.
When, you sell your $10 billion marquee franchise, and then when you sell your stake in one of the biggest soccer clubs in England, the question then becomes, are the Dodgers next? And if the Dodgers are next, then the question becomes, will Shohei Ohtani use his key man clause, which if Andrew Friedman, the president of baseball operations, or Mark Walter, the owner, leaves the franchise at any time he's with them, he can opt out. These are all extremely pertinent questions, and it's going to be interesting to see where this one goes.
Mark Walter needs to find billions in actual cash fast. And just selling the Lakers and whatever else he's offloading is not going to get it done, which is why so many people are wondering, are the Dodgers next?
You would think.
You would have to think.
You would think the Dodgers are next. He has to make sure he covers his tracks. And he has that. There's nothing like cash. You ever heard the song Cream by Wu-Tang Method Man?
Yes.
Well, how's it go?
What does it stand for?
Is it the one that goes, cash rules everything around me?
There you
go. There you go.
One step closer. Summer's almost over, though. Cookouts are about to come to an end.
Oh, no.
But it's all right. But all the activity leads you to believe exactly what we're all thinking.
Yep.
Right? My man's in trouble. He needs as much cash as he can get.
Yep.
Make sure family's good.
From Joe Pompliano. This is a nugget about the Dodgers trying to exit their TV deal. It's a little long, but I'm just going to read it. He says, again, Mark Walter has been looking for cash to fund billions of dollars in loans for months. He isn't trying to sell trying to sell his sports assets. Mark Walter engaged Charter Communications to see whether the company wanted to exit its local TV deals for the Lakers and Dodgers several years early in exchange for a lump sum payment. Those talks went nowhere. The Dodgers currently have one of the best local TV deals in sports. We have gone over how they ended up getting that. But Walter was willing to exit the deal early in exchange for upfront cash today. That's crazy. This guy needs money. He needs money right now. Mm-hmm. He's got to pay back billions immediately because he was using not his money to do a lot of this stuff. And I would imagine that at that level of rich, which like I can't fathom, we're talking billionaires.
For real.
Billionaires, like the billionaires inner circle, that there are probably lots of shady dealings. But this is one that crosses over into sports, so we all have our eyes on it. And if you want to take it a step further, it sounds like part of how the Dodgers were able to spend a ton of money by virtue of Walter's estates are with money that was not Walter's money to spend. I don't view that as cheating in the same way that like the Astros did, where players and coaches and everyone is in on this. But I view it as questionable, unfair, right? Because when it's your own money and there's no salary cap, it is what it is. It's not unfair. That's how it works.
Right.
This isn't exploiting the rules. This is tax fraud.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's messy, man. It's messy. It's on some stuff that we understand surface level, but goes way deeper than us because we don't have the money yet.
I'm simply not rich enough to be this corrupt.
Not yet.
God willing. You know what I mean? Hopefully one day. Julian Love was called out last week by Rams receiver Puka Nacua as the player on the Seahawks he likes the least, which is a nice way to say hates. And Julian responded yesterday. So as a refresher, here's what Puka had to say about Julian in, who was it? Logan Paul's. Right?
Yes, Logan Paul's.
Thank you, Logan Paul's.
They're
podcast.
Interchangeable,
right?
They're all they're both one guy.
One of the Paul brothers.
They are, honestly.
This is what he said.
Is there anyone that it is contentious with, where there's a little bit of like actual hostility on the field?
Oh, everybody on the Seahawks. Everybody on the Seahawks. I'm like, I don't. Everybody over there could get the smoke at any time of that. Like we see them over here. I don't know if there's any Seahawks players. We got any Seahawks fans over here? All right, I feel a lot better. That makes me feel a lot better. Forget the Seahawks. I'm like, yeah, I hate everybody over there.
No way. So you guys don't talk on the field?
Oh, 100%. I'm like, there's no friends over there. I'm like, think the number one guy, I'm like, Julian Love over there, or I think is his name, plays safety. We're not friends.
Yeah,
I'm like, he's taking a couple shots at me like mid-game, and like, I definitely find my opportunities to get back at him.
I think is his name. You know his name.
You know his name.
Julian, on with Brian Nemhauser, asked if he was surprised to hear that.
Surprised, maybe a little bit, but expected. Division rival. We've obviously had some tough games. Play hard. But yeah, definitely funny that he'll name drop me.
More from that Hawk Blogger interview on why Puka might view him in that light.
For sure. I mean, I don't know. I try to carry myself a certain way off the field, and on the field, I'm a competitor. I try to play as tough as I can. And so, yeah, I guess the average fan probably doesn't know that side of me. These guys in the locker room know that side of me. They know I don't like to lose. They know I like to compete. And so, yeah, it might come out on game days a little bit more than you guys are used to. But, yeah, that's just part of the game.
You weren't surprised to hear that, Bump. You were saying, let me tell you what. I bet Julian is like that on the field.
You flip a switch. You become a totally different person on the football field. Like, the intensity that you have to play with to play football is unlike any other sport. Maybe rugby, hockey too, you know what I mean? But in football, there's so many opportunities for interaction too. The gamesmanship is crazy. I remember playing in games, and to mess with me, a DB would just pull my towel out as I'm walking to the huddle. Just pull my towel out I'm like, all right, I got you. I remember being down on the ground one time under the pile, and I just untied DB's shoe just to mess with him. Like, there's so many opportunities to mess with your opponent.
How minor some of these things are.
You know?
Did you ever flick someone's nose?
No, I never did.
Bop his nose?
I've walked away and pulled at their glove because it's loose. I see that it's loose, and I'll pull at it a little quick so they have to fix it. It's like just little things to mess with each other. So no, J Love is the nicest guy in the world off the field. I can see him flipping a switch and just becoming somebody else.
Next and last story, we still don't have a clear explanation for Ketel Marte's complete no-show the other night, but it didn't stop our sister station, Arizona Sports, from ripping into him. Take a listen.
And it's all coming to light now. And again, all those people that were in Ketel's corner and all those people that were, oh, you're just trying to run the best player out of town. No, we weren't. None of us were trying to run him out of town. We were just painting a picture for you of what's happened. He's a very talented player. But he's one of the most difficult players to manage in all of sports. He's very, very difficult to manage. He's very difficult to handle. He doesn't. He goes by his own accord, right? He's not the best teammate and team player. He's very much a selfish individual player. I had somebody tell me he's the most self-absorbed player, that there is. It's just, and this is what happens. I mean, he should have been at the ballpark yesterday. There's no debating this.
That is pretty damning, but also I don't think he's wrong. I don't know enough about Ketel Marte to be like, he's a selfish player. You should have been there, or you should have contacted. I don't think that take is problematic. I don't think the take of, hey, you can't no-show, you can't go AWOL is a problematic take.
What if I just didn't show up to work on Friday?
Right. I would think
didn't
something
say
happened to
anything.
you.
We would be very concerned.
We
Right.
would think that you
Exactly.
were not, like, something happened.
Yeah, that's just common. It's just common sense. Like, just tell somebody.
Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners look to turn the page tonight against the Brewers. Pregame starts at 3:30 p.m. First pitch at 4:40 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. Hey, speaking of the Mariners, watching Hard Knocks has us putting the Mariners culture under a microscope. That's next.
Outside of quarterback, for real, we got the hardest position on the field, man.
The big-time players
They can't beat us throwing the ball.
make big-time plays.
Ball picked up. Witherspoon comes near side.
And a big-time Seahawk
Witherspoon, 97 yards.
is locked in for the long haul.
Spoon and the soul of our defense. Spoon is the heart of it.
Spoon's extension and what's next for the Hawks. All at SeattleSports.com and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Let's go.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet speed.
He's got the geeks to go big, bring him the game.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
Dave Wyman here, brand new member of Harborstone Credit Union, and I got my PNW cashback checking account for free. No fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. Gas, groceries, coffee, travel, lunch, all categories count toward your cashback. Open your free account online like I did. Go to harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
Inflation's up, insurance rates are up, so here's my question for you. Why are so many people still paying more than they have to?
Exactly. I took the First Mark Challenge, and it saved me thousands. Brock did it too.
Sure did. They compared my insurance with dozens of top-rated companies, found me better coverage, and I saved thousands. And the best part? It didn't cost me a penny.
That's what I love. First Mark works for you, not just one insurance company. They shop the big carriers to see if they can find you a better value.
And if they can, great. If they can't, you're out exactly nothing. No cost, no obligation. So honestly, why wouldn't you find out?
Plus, First Mark has world-class customer service. When you need help, you pick up the phone, you're talking to local, real people who actually know you, know your policy, not an 800 number halfway across the country.
More than 11,000 clients have already taken the First Mark Challenge.
You could be the next.
Before you renew, let First Mark review.
Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Take the First Mark Challenge today. You could be saving money with better coverage starting tomorrow.
firstmarkinsurance.com.
I want a woman. I want a big girl.
See the hysterical Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias when he takes the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, Saturday, August 29th at 5:30 and 9:30 p.m.
This way, we both can agree on the temperature of the thermostat.
He's sold out stadiums around the world, and now he's coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on August 29th. Get tickets before they're gone to laugh out loud with Gabriel Iglesias at muckleshootcasino.com.
Football, baby! Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like public works supervisor.
Hey, this waterman is under a ton of pressure. Did you ever fix it?
Yeah, 3 layers of duct tape. Wait, should I have added a 4th layer?
This is time for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Evan Cohen here. When it comes to your tires, you want the best quality, the best value, and the best service. When you buy tires at Midas with paid installation, their limited lifetime tire guarantee is included at no extra cost. Free flat repairs or replacements if needed, and complimentary maintenance like tire rotations and rebalancing every 5,000 miles. All included. That's the limited lifetime tire guarantee. Only at Midas, the best around.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Curtis, did you see this text from the 425?
What do we got?
Someone texted in, Bump, I'm so sorry that Stacy and Curtis bully you so much.
Yeah, man.
They said, you carry the show. Keep it up, man.
Calling HR. I've had enough of it, honestly.
I wouldn't say we bully Bump.
I think friends pick on each other.
I think friends keep each other humble.
Yeah, if you don't pick on your friends, then y'all ain't really friends.
Listen,
and their ego gets too big.
Here's the thing about Bump. Not only has Bump been a star his whole life, Bump is less than 24 hours removed from being on HBO. We're keeping Bump humble, okay? We're keeping you grounded.
Doing a great job.
We're keeping you grounded. We're here to remind you that you said
that you ain't.
You're smelling water in the blood that one time.
Water in the blood. That was like the third day on the show. that was
years
early.
ago. Speaking of Hard Knocks, yes, Bump was on it, which was very cool to see. But I can't help it. I want to know if you're doing the same thing. I can't help it. But with each episode of Hard Knocks that comes out, given that it's overlapped with an incredibly disappointing Mariner season, I have found myself making comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible not to. And when you have a new episode that airs last night on a night that the Mariners lose 22-0, shut out by the Brewers, it is so hard not to start asking yourself, like, well, what's the Mariners' culture? What do they value? What are they prioritizing? Who are they leaders? Like, you see the work that Mike McDonald puts into not just coaching and winning, but like curating the program he wants. And I wondered to myself watching it, if I asked Jerry DiPoto, hey, what's the Mariners' culture? I don't know that I know what the answer would be.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know.
Well, we also don't have access.
I know what his philosophy is, but like.
We don't have access to the Mariners like that. But I would wonder what the uncomfortable moments are like and how are those moments resolved. Because it feels like there's just a little stank with the Mariners right now. Like, if something happens, it kind of just lingers. You know what I mean? It's like when, Curtis, you know this, you throw a dirty diaper away. That's why you throw them outside. Because that stank is just going to linger. You put it in a plastic bag, you set it outside the door, I'll get it on my way out. The rookies, you're going to throw it in the trash and wonder why your house stinks, right? The Mariners feel like...
Especially in the summertime.
The Mariners feel like, look, I changed my first diaper. Let's put it right here.
Yeah.
We should be fine. You walk in the house. What's that smell?
Rookie mistake.
What is that smell? That's what it feels like. And with the Seahawks, it's like, all right, you pooped. We cleaned you up. We threw it out. You know, we even took the trash out. We didn't even wait. We just
This is a messy
took it.
metaphor.
We just took it all the way to the trash can right now.
22-0 is that's pooping your pants. All right,
it's pooping. So it just it feels like things are resolved fairly quickly. It might just be the culture of football too, right?
I think that's a factor. I do.
Yeah, I think that the football culture is different than baseball culture because the games are so isolated, and you spend so much time at the practice facility, in the classroom, that you're more likely to have those conversations in a more candid way. Whereas in baseball, it's kind of like, even if you win, we got to move on. Got a game tomorrow. You lose, we got a game tomorrow. You make a mistake, I'm going to still need you in the lineup. So I'm going to talk to you real quickly, and we're going to move on. So I think that we can compare the culture, but I'm going to leave room for that. Baseball is just different than football.
It is absolutely different. Like, it's really cool to see Mike McDonald in his slideshows. Dan Wilson's not doing 162 slideshows every single day trying to tell, like, let's talk about Jordan and the 90s Bulls. Like, you can't really do the same thing. But I do feel like what's wrong with the Mariners this season, we're actually getting into it with Mike Petriello coming up in about 10 minutes. Part of what's wrong with the Mariners is a tangible thing. Cal Raleigh is not hitting the ball. Curtis, you looked it up. He's had 2 multi-hit games this year?
Two multi-hit games since coming off the IL.
2 multi-hit games since coming off the IL. That's insane. Now, we could talk about the oblique. We can talk about what's happening. But, like, that's a tangible thing where you look at the numbers. You go, oh, okay, this is one thing that's wrong with this team. You can find bullpen arms not quite being what they were, people being absent because of injuries. Okay, one tangible, understandable thing that's wrong with this team is Matt Brash isn't there. You're down a high-leverage reliever. But then there are indescribable, intangible things that feel like they're missing. I'm sure other people feel this way. You don't just look at this team and go, mistake, dang. You look at the team and you go, something's not right. You like feel it in your gut that something's missing. We're all baseball fans. All of us know what good cultures and good teams and teams that believe look like. I'm not saying this team can't go on a run, and to your point, Bump, more than in any other sport, like in baseball, you can go on a run and you can score runs and suddenly everyone's feeling great. But like it feels like there is a concerted effort on a great culture that's missing. It doesn't mean there's bad people. I think there's actually a lot of great people in this organization, like good guys. But there's just a cohesiveness and a direction that is missing. And I see it on Hard Knocks, and it's really hard not to make the comparison.
Yeah, and it's hard not to make the comparison because these are our teams. We're so invested in both of these teams. It's like when you see one team doing something at a high level, it makes you wonder, okay, how can that be replicated on this side, right? All right, and then I love seeing the interaction between Mitch, the Spurs head coach, and Mike, obviously the Hawks head coach. They're just bouncing off each other. You know, what about this? What about that? How do you feel about this? And I think that that's healthy. And I think it makes me wonder, again, I don't know, but it makes me wonder, okay, who does Dan talk to? Who does Jerry talk to? Who does Justin talk to?
To, like, get that advice.
Yeah, it's like just to bounce ideas off each other. Because I think that's when some of the greatest things happen is when you're around like-minded people who have the same type of goals. It might be just in a slightly different lane. You can learn so much from them. It just feels like there's not a lot of learning going on with this squad right now.
I would love to know. I know there's been some overlap. I know that I'm pretty sure Jerry at one point was like in the Seahawks war room. Obviously there are relationships there, but I'd be curious. I wish I could be a fly on the wall for like conversations Jerry and Justin have, let's say with John Schneider, about, well, what are all the things that you focus on when you take players? And again, the crossover between baseball and football is so impossible, and I completely understand, but it just feels so stark, that contrast, when you watch Hard Knocks and then you watch the Mariners and you go like, God, I just want to be a fly on the wall and understand the conversations that are happening and where things are going awry. And I wouldn't care, and no one would be mad if they weren't talented. No one would be mad if they didn't have a good farm system. No one would care or be upset if they weren't so close last year. It's feeling like it's just out of reach that drives you crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what makes fixing it so imperative.
So close.
Let's talk about not just what they can do, but what we've seen. MLB.com's Mike Petriello joins us next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football, little Seahawks style?
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
with the first preseason game in the books. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
The way you met, the moment you knew, the future you're dreaming about together. At Klein Jewelers, we believe your engagement ring should be just as unique as the journey that brought you here. That's why we specialize in custom designed engagement rings, crafted to reflect your style, your story, and the life you're building together. Our experienced team will guide you every step of the way, because when you're creating a symbol of forever, every detail matters. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Your jeweler for life.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can, and I know you've heard that before. But when that promise comes from Lee Johnson Dealerships, you can count on it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Dave Wyman joined by the mayor of the city of Lacey, Andy Ryder. Andy recently underwent successful treatment for prostate cancer. His treatment method? Swedish CyberKnife.
I'm feeling very confident about my treatment with CyberKnife. I absolutely recommend it for anyone who has been diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Reach out to Swedish CyberKnife directly at swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How did you get 30, 30, bet you get 30, bet you get 20, 20, 20, bet you get 20, 20, bet you get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
On a BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favourites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
To say the Mariners dropped game one of their series against the Brewers is probably an understatement when it's a 22-0 shutout loss, the biggest in Mariners history. Logan Gilbert tries to stop the bleeding again with a start today in game two, first pitch at 4:40 p.m. Taylor Ward wasn't in the lineup for a fifth consecutive game yesterday, but could return today. He was available off the bench last night. Meanwhile, reliever Carlos Vargas is in line to make his season debut on Friday when the Mariners return home for a series against the Cubs.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
Talking Mariners in a wild AL playoff chase with MLB.com's Mike Petriello. Mike, how's it going?
Hey, guys, I'm doing a lot better than the Mariners are this morning, I think.
Oh, God, I know. You don't have to think. Just a gut check with this team. You know what's weird? We were talking about kind of like how bad losses feel. There's just, I know you're not deep into Mariners Twitter, but there was a big dialogue going on yesterday with people going, this is the worst loss, which it is score-wise. And then people going, you know what? Jordan's home run, that hurt more. George Springer's home run, that hurt more. Friday's loss to the Astros hurt more than this loss. This loss to me, Mike, curious how you feel about the Mariners season. It felt like more a summation of the Mariners have felt like a rudderless ship where there's so much talent, and that's real. It's not like people overestimate the talent of Julio or Cal or whoever, the pitching staff. But there's mistakes. There's, 22-0, whatever. Your position player gives up 9 runs, but you lost 12-0, really. Like, that was a gut punch before you kind of punted. Tell me kind of how you see the Mariners season and what to you, there's a lot of bad things going on, but what to you feels like the single biggest disappointment or cause?
Well, it's really hard to not point at what's gone on with Cal Raleigh, right? That's the obvious answer, but it's also the correct one. Nobody expected him to hit another 60 homers, but it's not like he had some fluke season last year where he hadn't been very good the seasons before. He's an all-star caliber catcher for previous seasons. And I looked this up the other day and updated this morning. This is the third largest decline in OPS in back-to-back seasons and the largest in like a century since Rogers Hornsby 100 years ago. And to some extent, that's a compliment in the sense where you have to have been very, very good to have that much OPS to drop. But also, I saw a stat the other day, and I think it's probably still true. At the moment, he's got fewer hits this year than he had home runs last year. And for a team that maybe is not going to miss the playoffs by that much, if they do, that's 6, 7, 8 wins right there. Yeah. And nobody wants to pile upon a guy who I know is beloved, but that's it. I don't know how you point to literally anything else but that.
Now, with Cal, he's dealt with injuries this season. He also just has not been himself, especially in the times that he's been healthy this year. Is there a stat or two you look at when a guy has a drop-off like that maybe tells you, yeah, this guy's dealing with a ton of injuries, or is it just simple ineffectiveness? Like, what do the numbers tell you about what Cal Raleigh's been dealing with this year?
Yeah, the first thing you always want to do is try to figure out, okay, how much of this is just like good or bad luck? How much of this is a real change in skill? It's always, I think, a little dangerous to speculate on injuries just because we never really know from the outside. And he, wasn't performing before he missed that month, and that really hasn't changed. It's just that every single arrow is pointing in the wrong direction, right? Like, he has increased his strikeout rate by kind of a lot. He has, I believe, the largest drop in hard hit rate in baseball. Last year it was 50%. This year it's 35%, right? It's not like, oh, I can point to this thing or that thing. It is just across the board. The only thing that hasn't really changed in a negative way is his bat speed. Bat speed is, not exactly what it was last year, but pretty comparable to what he's always done in the past. So it's not like the bat is slow. I think it's just the timing is off, right? He's missing fastballs, he's missing breaking balls, not hitting things hard. It's just like an across the board. I'm guessing he cannot wait for the season to be over and wipe this all away and start fresh next spring.
Yeah, I think actually the bat speed is maybe if you're a Mariners fan, which everyone listening is, then maybe something you want to hang on to, where it's like, this isn't someone who's 35 and the bat speed has dropped sharply and now you're worried about underlying strength. This is someone who is lost. They're caught in between. The timing is gone and they need to spend an offseason fixing their swing. They're also 29, turning 30. I know for a catcher, that's an age a lot of people eye, but I don't know. There's a lot to like about this team, but they need to be not this year. And they need to be so much better. That being said, there was a lot to like about this team entering the season, Mike. I know that Cal, I agree with you. I look directly to Cal in terms of divvying up the blame pie and giving him the biggest slice. What about Dan Wilson, and what role does a manager have when you're a team like Seattle, which should probably have more wins than it does, but it's also, I was talking about with Curtis with this, it's hard to figure out how many losses or wins a manager is directly responsible for in a way that we can kind of figure out with players. So tell me a bit about how you view Dan's season.
Yeah, it's tough to evaluate because, like, take, for example, the Blue Jays who Seattle played last year. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is having a terrible season, right? No home runs at home. It's not quite as bad of a problem as Raleigh, but it's been a huge step back. And it's like, well, how much of that is the manager? John Schneider was beloved last year, and now is it his fault that he didn't press the Vlad hit homers button? It's always difficult to go back from that. When I look at the Mariners this year, I think, obviously no manager, in my opinion, was going to fix what's going on with Cal Raleigh, for sure. I think the defense has been a problem and to some extent was expected to be based on the players that are there. I always wonder when you look at, the manager is getting killed because of star players and performing. Does he get credit because Randy Arozarena has been very, very good, right? But I can tell you this. I was watching a Mariners game the other day. I think it was when they were here in New York, but I don't remember exactly. And they brought up the sign to load the bases. And I was like, that's my least favorite play in baseball. I hate intentionally walking someone to load the bases, like a massive, massive change in who you're hitting. Like you get rid of Aaron Judge and now it's a backup or whatever, because you just put the reliever in a really bad spot. You have to be absolutely perfect. And it didn't work. I think he walked in a run or gave up the hit or whatever. And I can't stand that play pretty much ever. Now, I cannot sit here and tell you that Dan Wilson does that more or less than anybody else. I really don't know. But that was in that game that I watched, and that was a decision that did not seem to work out super well.
Mike, Julio Rodriguez has always just been dripping in talent. He jumps off the page. He jumps off the screen whenever you watch him, but the numbers have just kind of stayed the same over the course of his 5 seasons in the bigs. I know a lot of people are very concerned about his chase rate going forward, and there's not a lot of success, long-term success of guys like that unless you're kind of like an outlier like Vlad Guerrero Sr. So what do you make of Julio at this stage of his career? We're 5 seasons in now. Like, is there another level he can get to, or is this just kind of who he's going to be?
The chase rate thing is kind of weird because while I agree with you, I generally don't want guys to chase. His strikeout rate is down. He's like running the lowest strikeout rate of his career. So to some extent, it's not that he's swinging and missing a ton more because he's going after these terrible pitches. It just may be about, people don't like to hear too much contact, right? But sometimes those are pitches you don't necessarily want to contact with. He's still young. I don't even think he's 26 years old yet. I think that to some extent, for the next 4 or 5 years, there's going to be that hope that the talent is there for this true breakout season. If anything has surprised me about him more than anything, it's defense. Like, he was a truly elite defensive center fielder for the last 4 years. And this year, at least by the metrics, it's been just kind of okay, which was surprising to me. And it's not like it comes with, some massive decline in running speed or anything like that. It is down a little bit, but still solidly above average. So that's the thing that's surprising to me. And I need to know if that's the new normal or if that's a blip, right? Because if he goes back to being a very good defensive center fielder next year, cool. But if this is the start of, oh no, he needs to be a left fielder soon, that I think completely changes the way you evaluate him.
In your experience of looking at either team defense or individual player defense, is there a bit more volatility there than with other measurables that you look at, or is that usually something that does bring up a red flag for you?
Yes and no. I think for years with defensive metrics, it was, well, don't pay attention to them until you have like 2 years worth of metrics, right? And part of that is just because you didn't have the granularity of the data. And part of that is just because you don't get the same number of opportunities. When you get your 4 plate appearances a night. When you're in the outfield, you might only get 2 or 3 balls a week where you can actually show some skill on, aside from cans of corn. The first part's changed. Like the defensive metrics have improved in terms of having backcasts and everything where you can really get something out of them a lot more quickly. We were talking about this morning, the guy that Toronto got from the Cubs for Kevin Gausman, Brett Bateman, he's already popping elite defensive metrics in just the first week or two in the bigs. And that has shown to be something that's sticky. So I wouldn't look at this and say, okay, small sample for Julio. I think it's something that's real. But the other thing is people love to go back to an old chestnut, which is, defense never slumps, right? And that is not true. I think that has been proven out many times over. You can have a guy who has a bad month, a bad week, and rebound, even a bad season. So I wouldn't write this off, but I would say next spring training, it's definitely something I'm going to be looking at very closely.
Mike, Josh Naylor was a huge addition last year down the stretch for the Mariners. He had a ton of big hits down the stretch for them, also swiping bags left and right, too. They gave him a big contract this offseason, and it has not lived up to that this season. He has really been struggling with the slug this year. What are you seeing from him that has led to this dip in production?
Yeah, still having a lot of the stolen bases, which is nice. He had in July his largest ground ball rate month in 3 years. Putting it on the ground is not what you want. And he, unlike Cal Raleigh, does actually have a pretty major bat speed decline. It's down. And if you go back to his peak, we don't have it from the beginning of his career, but over the last couple of years, it's down almost 3 miles an hour, which is a really big and meaningful and scary deal. But at the same time, he's been much better in the second half than he was in the first half. And maybe that's a low bar to clear because the first half wasn't very good. But if you look at him since the All-Star break, he's been 37% above average, getting the ball off the ground a little bit. So I don't know, maybe adjusting to the new normal of having a little bit less bat speed, but if he's going to look the way he has recently, especially in August where he's slugging 500, he is pretty far down my list of concerns on this team.
Last year, you had a feature that went viral looking at how T-Mobile Park suppresses offense in lots of different ways. And I think that all of us here have just accepted, look, the Mariners are never going to lead the league in doubles. That's just simply never going to happen. There is a park factor that's a very real thing here. However, sometimes there are offensive issues that I just can't work out with this team. You knowing as much as you do, Mike, about the things that the Mariners can't control when it comes to offense, how much do you see as in their control, and to what extent are you okay, this stat right here, this is pretty inexcusable?
Yeah, when we looked into it last year, the biggest issue is not necessarily, does the ball fly or not fly? Obviously, that's part of it, but, it creates strikeouts, essentially. You strike out more there than on the road, and that is also a park factor that people don't think too much about. Now, the thing that is kind of confusing me a little bit this year is it's not like the Mariners home and road have had this massive difference hitting, right? Their OPS is almost identical, at least for the hitters. I don't know about the pitchers, which is weird to me because you would expect that would be a kind of a big difference from last year, and that hasn't happened. Again, now we're talking about splitting half of a season into halves because you're going home and road, and it's not even the full year yet. So that could be a fluke. I really don't know, but as far as I can tell, very little has changed about the way the park plays. The ball carries there, about 4 or 5 feet less than average. It's creating strikeouts by about 10%. So that is going to be what it is until or unless they make massive changes in the park, which I don't think they ever will. And I kind of think that's part of why they like Naylor, because he's not a guy relying on homers. He'll get you singles and doubles, and hopefully you're maybe starting to see that pop up now.
Mike, the Mariners currently sit in third place in the American League West. They didn't lose any ground last night, unbelievably. They're 4 back of the Astros. They're 3 back of the Rangers. It looks like the West is probably going to be the route that the Mariners have to go in order to make the playoffs. The Astros only have about a 50-something% chance of making the playoffs. When you look at these 3 teams that are not even above 500 right now, is there any team that you have belief in that they can get the job done over the season's final month and a half? It's a loser leaves town match, Mike.
I'm not convinced one of them has to. I'm still holding out hope there's a way that none of them
let
have
an
to.
extra AL East. You know what? Central, exactly you're
right.
in.
And think about this. The 5th place team in the American League East right now is Baltimore. And I don't think Baltimore's some great team or anything, but would I take Baltimore's roster over any of the 5 rosters in the West right now? Maybe I might. I mean, you guys have probably discussed at some point that if the AL West does end up with 5 teams who are all outscored by their opponents, that would be the first time ever. That is what it looks like right now. There's obviously things I like about each team. I love Yordan Alvarez, right? Like I like Josh Hader, but I do not trust any of these teams. And so I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. One of them is going to back into the postseason. They're going to win the division, a game under 500, and then they're going to get red hot for 3 weeks and go to the World Series, because that is exactly how baseball works.
It would be peak Mariners to do that. I will say, am I selfish in saying maybe the Mariners just like karma-wise deserve it the most? I mean, you think about it, Mike. There's a lot. We've been through a lot. This is a franchise that's endured a ton of tragedy despite all the stars and great moments they've had.
Yeah, I assume, obviously, you always want to win the World Series, but it would be a weird feeling, I think, if they were unwatchable for 5.5 months and then got hot at the right time, as opposed to last year, where it looked like that maybe was the year. And I can say this, I'm not a Mariners fan, obviously, but I did pick them to win the American League this year before the season. So if they want to help me out with that and beat the Cubs in the World Series, that would make me pretty grateful.
Well, there's other teams, unbelievably, in the AL that are kind of lurking. I look at the Detroit Tigers, Mike, and I mean, they've been bad for most of the season, but as of late have really turned it on. They have the 3rd highest run differential in the league and are 4 games below 500. That AL Central, not nearly as ugly as the AL West, but is there a team in that division that you say, okay, I think they have what it takes to limp across the finish line?
Yeah, I'm still a Tigers believer. I think a lot of it is just they had that 6-22 May that kind of sunk everything, but they've been playing well for 3 months now. And obviously they lost Scooble, but they've got some underrated guys. Not enough people know about Troy Melton. Frankly, I'm not sure how you can look at this division and not want the White Sox to win as an independent observer, right? Like, amazingly cool story. Mirakambi's been fantastic. One of the worst teams in baseball history just 2 years ago. And if they can get to the winning the division and making the playoffs and potentially even getting a bye, which I think they are in a bye position right now, that would just be one of the coolest turnarounds I think we've seen in the last 50 years. I'm rooting for that.
He is Mike Petriello. Thanks so much, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Mariners were destroyed 22-0 by the Brewers in their series opener. What's the real headline?
Okay, sure. But could you imagine losing 3-1 to the Angels? Right?
Okay. It's called perspective, people.
Hear me out. The exchange rate, okay? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? The exchange rate on these runs. No, listen to me. 22 runs from the best team in baseball. Hear me out. That's roughly the same as allowing 3 runs from the worst team, right? Right?
I guess.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I'm not buying it.
No, you totally. You guys get it.
I'll support you 100%.
So the Astros lost to the Angels is what I'm saying, and
didn't lose any ground in the division.
What this is right now. This is called cope. If you opened up a dictionary and you looked at cope, you would hear this argument I'm making.
Julio Rodriguez.
Headline rewrites.
Wow.
Julio Rodriguez throwing that baseball into the stands on the second out is the epitome of guys just not caring. Whatever.
Checked out.
Just not locked in. It was that was embarrassing. And what do you say to your team? What do you say to your team after this? What do you say before the game? It's I want to see how they bounce back today.
I think the only thing you can say, I'm curious whether or not you guys listening agree or not. I felt like the loss against the Astros Friday was more painful than this loss.
For sure.
I've experienced
100% sure.
Infinitely more painful, gutting, heartbreaking losses, objectively worse losses than this. This loss to me was embarrassing. This loss to me was like all of baseball is making fun of you for the next several hours. Like, this loss highlights some of the same mistakes over and over. I will not be thinking about this loss and ruminating
years from
on
now?
it years from now. Whereas that George Springer home run, I'll never forget that a day in my life until I die. Like the Yordan home run, I'll never forget that ever and ever. So it's not adding perspective. It's not putting a silver lining. It's just saying that fundamentally, I view this loss, and to answer your question, Bump, the reason I'm saying all of it is if I'm Dan Wilson, I'm going, just flush it. We're not going to lose another game 22-0. This is embarrassing. Let's get right. But, we can't enter into game 2 thinking about this game at all.
This loss, if I'm out of town, makes me pick my Dodger cap just for the day. I'm not going to put on the Mariners cap that day to travel.
That's crazy.
I don't want to deal with all this stuff. I'm going to put on the Dodger cap for the day.
You're
going to
put on
tomorrow. I'll put the Mariners hat back on.
You put on the cap for the team whose owner is under federal investigation.
Jail.
And going to jail.
Lock him up.
That's actually, you know what? Shockingly, and I mean this, less embarrassing.
Hey, it's L.A., baby. It's mafia. It's organized crime. You know what I'm saying?
Violating rules by borrowing millions of dollars from your own companies of other people's money to pay for your players, without irony, less embarrassing.
He deferred all that money because he's like, it's not going to be my problem. It's going to be somebody else's problem.
Someone else's day. We're actually going to get to this.
76-51. First place in the West.
And
25 to life in jail.
Players are good. Otani's good. You know what I'm saying?
Are we sure Otani's good? His interpreter's serving time too.
What's next?
Taylor Ward was not in yesterday's lineup for a 5th straight time due to leg soreness, but said he's close and could play in game 2 against the Brewers. What's the real headline?
How can you get leg soreness when you don't walk?
That's what I'm saying.
Dang. That's a bar.
Because that stat Curtis brought up.
He has not walked yet in a Mariners uniform.
Not walked. So he was available off the bench yesterday, which he clearly was not going to come off the bench. That would seem to indicate that either today or tomorrow for a matinee, you'll see him. What we still haven't seen, though, while we're on the topic, is a walk from Taylor Ward, who led the American League in walks prior to being acquired by you.
You got to crawl before you walk.
Please don't crawl to first.
Man, just do something. Somebody do something. That's all. Somebody do something. Bryce didn't look good yesterday. Julio's throwing the ball into the crowd. We got Rivas getting lit up. Hey, and you know what I appreciate about professional sports? No mercy rule. You take this 22-0, right? If this were little league or high school, mercy rule, bring your subs in. Nah, Brewers are like, nah, you a grown man. Finish this dang game. We're going to go yard on you.
You know what else I'll say about this loss? I don't look at it as 22-0. There are some inflated numbers here. You get to that historical number by virtue of having a position player pitch, and they add on 9 more runs. All right. Leo Rivas' ERA, by the way, really unfair for him. But you can't keep rolling him out there.
You can't keep rolling
him out there. He can't be on the playoff roster out of the pen. But what got me was basically the 1st through 5th innings. Those, what this should have been, unfortunately still for the Mariners, is like a 13-1 loss or a 13-0 loss. And maybe today, instead of, oh my God, just flush this and don't think about it, we're going, wow, should Dan have pulled Bryce? Did you go to the right reliever? We're talking about Dan's decision-making. We're talking about Bryce's health. We're talking about bullpen depth, and we're talking about a lack of offense. Instead, because you end up losing 22-0, it just becomes, what an embarrassing game. But in a weird way, all those runs take away from some of the bigger issues. Last up.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, the Seahawks tried out former Pro Bowl cornerback Trevon Diggs yesterday. What's the real headline?
You're not the only one wondering whether Terron Arnold's going to play this season. It's clear the Seahawks are too.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're ready to go. With that move right there, it makes me feel like they want something right now. Like Terron, if everything works out, we'll see him eventually. But there's a sense of urgency in that room for some reason. Is it Dansby? Is it the other kid was from is it Fuller? His name is it Neil? There's some stuff going on in that room that they feel like they need this type of backup, and I'm all for it, man. You make sure that you're deep enough when the season starts.
Someone said the Mariners didn't square up.
They didn't square up.
Square up.
I don't sound like that. That's not what I sounded like.
Square up. No, they didn't.
Square up.
I don't sound like that. And secondly, I was quoting Bump. So I wasn't saying it. I was saying, well, Bump, you said that they need to square up, and then you laughed.
Nah, it was the way you said it. Right there was nice and calm, but you were saying it with your chest.
Yes, I was. Because I felt it. I felt it in my bones. And no, they didn't
square up.
You guys listen. That's me as manager. Everyone, circle up. We need to square up tonight, okay?
Nice.
Eyes on me. 1, 2, 3. Leo, I'm looking at you. The 69 ERA, we need to get that down, okay? Let's get that down to 50 today. 54 even.
Goodness.
God. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Taking a look around the NFL next. Don't go anywhere.
Outside of quarterback, for real, we got the hardest position on the field, man.
The big-time players
They can't beat us throwing the ball.
make big-time plays.
Ball picked up. Witherspoon comes near side.
And a big-time Seahawk
Witherspoon, 97 yards.
is locked in for the long haul.
Spoon, man, the soul of our defense. Spoon is a heart of it.
Spoon's extension and what's next for the Hawks. All at seattlesports.com and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Let's go.
No matter the time of year, working out at home is the best. Brock Hewart here, and allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. Simply give them your room dimensions, and they'll do a complete fitness room design. And everyone, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love their stuff. Top Fitness represents the very best brands in fitness, like Precor, Inspire Fitness, along with many others. They also have flooring and weights that go right in your home gym. Locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. 3 Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligament, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. drmarkwagnermd.com. Make an appointment at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Nearly 1 in 4 people killed on the road in Washington weren't driving. Pedestrians on our roads are incredibly vulnerable, whether they're facing drunk, drugged, drowsy, or distracted drivers. Pedestrians are defenseless on our streets. That's why Davis Law Group fights for pedestrian accident victims and their loved ones after a crash. Davis Law Group delivers. So if you or a loved one have been injured, call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit davislawgroupseattle.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can. Those are just words until you know who's saying them. From Lee Johnson, it's a promise you can count on.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Mariners and Brewers today in Milwaukee. 4:40 first pitch, 3:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Do you have a special occasion or milestone to commemorate? Come discover Klein Jewelers in charming downtown Edmonds. As a locally owned family jeweler, we combine an impressively large selection with a warm personal service only a hometown jeweler can provide. Whether you're searching for the perfect engagement ring or a beautiful piece of diamond or gemstone jewelry, you'll find plenty to love and no pressure along the way. From life's biggest milestones to those just because moments. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. You're a jeweler for life.
Cascade Machinery and Electric has been the Pacific Northwest's trusted industrial machinery expert for over 100 years. And right now, they're hiring manual and job shop machinists in Northwest, Southwest Washington, and Spokane. If you're a skilled machinist at any level, there is a great career waiting for you. To join the Cascade Machinery and Electric team, visit cascade-machinery.com/careers and apply today. Cascade Machinery and Electric, powering the Pacific Northwest since 1918.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Heads prevailing in contract talks between the Buccaneers and Vita Vea. If you guys remember, he reportedly wanted a trade to maybe a team in California. Please no. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were already having some contract issues. Baker Mayfield, now those have been put to the side. Baker's going to play with them, just not on a new contract. But what's going on with Vita? Is he going to be fine there? Adam Schefter chiming in on the latest.
It feels like we've gone from a tone of pessimism to one where there's potential optimism. It feels like we've gone from Vita Vea wanting a trade to Vita Vea now wanting to try to get a deal done. It feels like we've gone from there being questions about Vita Vea not being in Tampa to now let's see if and they can get it done. I think it's flipped. I think eventually the two sides figure it out. I think they get something done, and I think Vita Vea stays in Tampa.
Maybe it was posturing all along. Either way, I think that the right move for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is to hang on to Vita Vea. You're kind of in this spot bump where you have no choice but to compete in a horrible division.
Management said we ain't trading him. We have no intention on trading Vita Vea, one of the best interior linemen in the game. And this is what it is. You know, sometimes when you're a significant other and had a bad day, he has that argument. You try not to go to bed mad, but sometimes it happens, right? And then the day goes by, you send a funny meme, no response. Then you send another funny meme, a like, and then you call what? And then you call after work, hey, you know, you just got to let it marinate sometimes, and cooler heads will prevail. Vita Vea knows that this team has an opportunity to win this division. Management knew that. I'm glad it happened this way because he stays where he is. Don't come anywhere near the NFC West.
Next up, there were at least 6 separate fights between the New Orleans Saints and Dallas Cowboys during a joint practice yesterday. ESPN's Louis Riddick was not a fan of the outrage over a training camp fight. He tweeted, abolish joint practices, abolish preseason games, abolish minicamps and OTAs, abolish hitting too hard. Hell, maybe abolish the regular season too. Just pick playoff teams based on what they did the year before. Would that make everyone happy? Never heard so much complaining about everything in my life.
Yeah, because everybody's soft, man. This is a violent game. I'm sitting there at the Seahawks preseason game and someone yells, rip his head off. But you don't want any fights. You're going up against, look, this is a part of training camp where things get crazy. Guys are frustrated. They're hot. They're going against the same guys every day. Now you get some fresh blood. He's talking crap. You're talking crap. We're all padded up. No one's going to get really hurt.
Yeah.
It happens. It's been happening since the beginning of time when it comes to football.
I have a real question. I know that the fights were reported on. It was on the front page of ESPN. There aren't a lot of NFL stories, so obviously it's on the front page of ESPN. Slow news period for sports. It was all over Twitter, some videos of it, because people are just curious about that kind of thing. If you told me I have a video of 2 Seahawks who got into a fight, I'd be like, let me see it.
Right?
Like, everyone's just kind of curious about that. Is anyone actually upset? I don't know a single person that is mad or worried about this kind of thing.
If you're upset about this, just don't watch football anymore. Don't invest your time in it because it's hard to turn that violent switch off when you have the pads on.
I'm just saying, love Lewis, but is he actually responding to anything anyone's saying, or is he responding to people are going to be curious about who got in a fight and why and what happened and tell me more?
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone's like, we can't have joint practices. It's just not safe. I mean, if they are, that's lame, but I have to imagine that's a minority of voices.
6 fights that happened between the Saints and who? The Cowboys?
Mhm.
Both coaches were like, good practice, coach.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Good fire.
Yeah.
Yep, done. Speaking of the Saints, they're down another playmaker on offense. They lost Jordan Tyson earlier this week for 2 months with a hamstring injury, and now they're going to be without Alvin Kamara for a while. This is from Adam Schefter.
Alvin Kamara's got a sprained MCL. I'm told it's at least a month. That's a blow to the Saints, particularly on the heels of losing Jordan Tyson. So now you lose Jordan Tyson for a couple of months. You lose Alvin Kamara for a month plus, and now you've got a need on the offensive side of the football for some people to catch the football.
Been a painful life as a Saints fan, minus one of the coolest eras ever in a Super Bowl win. Sean Payton, Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham, all of it. They have been in salary cap hell. They have been struggling to have these players work. They have not been able to get a Super Bowl to come from one of the best draft classes any team has had in 2017. And now they're short Alvin Kamara for a while. Who do you got taking the NFC South, by the way?
Before this injury, I was looking at the Saints and saying they might be able to do something. Yeah, Jordan Tyson. Obviously, you have Kamara. You got Achane who made the switch over there. Olave as well. So now my focus shifts back to the.
Let's see. You don't have a lot of choices.
I'm gonna go. I'm with Atlanta. With Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yep, Atlanta. Even though they look bad at their preseason game, but it's preseason.
You're going Atlanta, who doesn't have
ATL shouting.
Okay, I just do want to remind you, their best 2 pass rushers are not going to be starting the season with them. One of them won't be playing at all.
Best running back in the game.
Best running back in the game.
Hand the football off to him. ATL shouting. You're not going to change my mind. You have your pick. I have my pick.
And will they be able to throw the football?
They will. Tua. You know, his brain is 100% healthy.
Okay, so you are going
with
Falcons.
The injuries. With these injuries,
okay,
right?
Okay.
I was going to go Saints.
No.
Now I'm ATL shouting.
And what about the Buccaneers and what about the Panthers?
No, I'm ATL shouting.
I mean, I don't believe in Bryce Young, but maybe
ATL
I believe
shouting.
in some of the talent.
Who you got?
There. I think it might be the Panthers.
Right, there you go. Who sounds more silly?
Like
Who sounds more silly, me or you? Panthers?
Like you.
We sound silly either way.
I mean, the Panthers were in it last year.
Yeah, ATL was too.
They won the division.
They won the division.
Yeah. Hard thing to do down there, man.
I mean, they fell backwards into it.
Right,
still.
they won on a tiebreaker. They lost Week 18 to the Bucks and still won the division because Atlanta won.
And still they rise. And so I think that they're going to repeat. I think they're going to repeat as division champs. That's what I think. Like you, I thought the Saints were a fun pick, but that's a lot of injuries to work through.
ATL shouting. T.I.
It'd be cool if it was ATL.
T.I. Lil Jon.
Yeah.
All them.
I saw someone say that, I don't know if I agreed with them, but they said that Atlanta was comparable as a sports town to Seattle in terms of the heartbreaks or some of the wins that they've had for their teams. But in this case, the Falcons are the Mariners and the Braves are the Seahawks. I don't know that I agree. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, because the Braves have won 2 titles in our lifetimes.
That basically one team has given them a bunch of heartbreak and come so close, but had some of the most heartbreaking losses ever, and that another team has been more consistently good, but like someone was making the case that Seattle isn't an unlucky, cursed sports town, that there are worse sports towns, but that it is like one of those towns where like one team kind of rakes.
I would say yes in terms of on-field success, but
Yeah.
I would say the passion and fever behind those teams is much more diehard
Different.
here than it is there.
Yes, totally agree. Next
Hold
up.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Worst sports towns. Tell me how you feel about this.
Okay. Then Seattle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Sneaky heartbreak for Minnesota.
Phoenix.
Yeah,
Got
not
nothing.
since the Diamondbacks.
Cleveland.
Yeah. Yes.
Buffalo. Nashville.
Detroit.
Atlanta. Milwaukee. Washington,
Yeah.
D.C.
Yes.
New York. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
No,
good.
I legitimately, like, for as much heartbreak as I can recall, and you don't want to be that person that's like, well, they have it worse, so therefore I'm okay. But, like, I think you can make the case for quite a few other cities.
Yeah.
And Minnesota, in general, one of the sneakiest, like, heartbreak centers.
Man,
for
the
sports.
Vikings on their own.
Vikings,
They get kicked in the
Do
gut.
you think the average person knows the
Pretty
Vikings have
regularly.
never won a Super Bowl?
No, I think they assume. I think they think the Purple People Eaters probably got one.
I don't think the average person knows they've never won.
Mm-mm.
We know the Bills, and we obviously know newer franchises, you know, the Texans and everything, but like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you do, and if you do, shame on me. Let's see. Next up, the Patriots and Eagles held a joint practice. No more joint practices. I'm just
keep
kidding.
them rolling.
This was on
Seahawks
Wednesday.
have one later this week.
This is on Wednesday. A.J. Brown was asked about seeing his old teammates again.
No, it's not about no closure or anything, man. It's love. You know, I won a Super Bowl ring with them, and it's always be love, no matter how anyone feels. You know, I love Philly, and I will always love Philly, but I'm here now, and that's where my feet are, and that's what I'm focused on.
Have you talked to Jalen?
No.
I like the tone at the end. You know, I'm just focused on what I can do with my team. Professional. You're nailing it, AJ. You're nailing it. Hey, have you talked to Jalen? No.
Simple. New scenery. He's gonna be a different person, I believe.
Yeah. Who has the best defensive line in the NFL entering this season? Number 1 probably will not surprise you. Number 3 might. That's next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game in the books. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede, August 26th through the 30th. Keep the excitement going all week long with high-energy live concerts featuring country and rock artists, including classic American rock band Jefferson Starship and Canadian country artist Allie Walker. The Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today and all the info at kitsapfair.org. That's kitsapfair.org. Looking for a new Mazda? Check out Mazda of Everett during the More to Move You sales event. As the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, they have over 700 new Mazdas in stock and are known for always offering the Mazda of Everett price. Awarded Mazda's President's Award 13 years in a row and ranked among the top 20 Mazda dealers in the USA for customer service. Shop at 11409 Highway 99 in Everett or MazdaofEverett.com. Dealer awards and rankings based on Mazda USA reporting and data.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks.
I see you, boy!
Seattle Sports.
Justin's an avid skier, and a hard fall on the mountain changed everything.
I wound up tearing my meniscus, and then I found out that I also had osteoarthritis.
The pain was relentless.
Initially, it was probably a 7 or 8, but then it just continued and never went away.
It wasn't just pain, it was how he moved.
The biggest issue I had was simply walking. I could not walk without limping.
Others might have looked into surgery, but Justin chose stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. How's it now?
I'm back to skiing as hard as I can, and I don't even notice my knee anymore.
And the recovery?
Well, the biggest thing is I was walking without a limp within weeks, where I had been limping for the last year or so. Now I just feel totally normal. I feel like I can do anything that I ever did.
Before you choose surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Are you looking to buy a house, but like everyone, you're priced out of the Bellevue, Kirkland, and Seattle market? Many buyers have the income, the credit, and the desire to own, but simply don't have the down payment, often at least $75,000 just for a starter home. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue, with a great opportunity for home buyers. Introducing our Legacy Opportunity Loan. Legacy Group Capital has a select group of 100 new construction, single-family, and townhomes in the top Western Washington locations. Acquire a new construction home with no down payment, allowable closing costs paid, and a competitive rate. Yes, that's no down payment and some closing costs paid by Legacy. A wise man once said, the hardest part of winning in real estate is just getting in. And now you can with our Legacy Opportunity Loan. So get in the game.
Limited properties available to qualified Washington borrowers. Learn more about this limited opportunity at LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital LLC and MLS ID 99045. Visit LegacyG.com for additional program details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I know we're a little biased here, but if I threw out who has the best defensive line in football entering 2026, Bump, what would your number one answer be?
Seahawks.
Okay. What about number 2?
Rams.
Okay. Maybe a third team in there you'd consider?
Texans.
Okay. Good answers. Good answers. Curtis, if I said who has the best defensive line in the NFL right now entering the season, what would be the first team you'd think?
Oh, biased, I would say the Seahawks, but I would say like the Eagles.
Okay. Okay. You guys guessed 4 teams in the top 5.
It's real ball knowers.
All right.
Yeah, ball knowers, real ball knowers.
do.
Now, I will tell you right now, number 1 is not the Seahawks. In fact, the Seahawks aren't either in number 2 or 3. The Seahawks are number 5 on Pro Football Focus's list of best defensive lines entering the NFL. In their write-up, they did mention the loss of Boye Mafe as something that they considered, but obviously they were one of the best, if not the best defensive line in football last year. They're bringing back so much of that talent. Some teams just tended to add more, namely the number 1 team, Los Angeles Rams, on their list. Hi, hello. I know you don't have Jared Verse anymore, but you added Myles Garrett, the reigning defensive player of the year, reigning sack leader. Oh, and also you most likely are getting Aaron Donald. Hard not to look at the Rams, completely understand. Tell me what you think about the rest of the list, though. Number 2, Bump, you're right. Will Anderson Jr. doing a lot of work here. The Texans coming in as the second best defensive line. Don't blame them. They would have been the top scoring defense had Seattle not surpassed them in like the final 2 weeks. Number 4, I'm skipping 3, the Eagles. Curtis, you are on that one. Jalen Carter getting his massive new deal, and it feels like they are excellent at just constantly replenishing that group. Number 3, the Steelers.
That was kind of weird.
That was interesting. I know T.J. Watt's carrying a lot there. They have a
Cameron Hayward,
and they
was
have
born in '89.
They have a history and a legacy of being a great defense and a great defensive line, but is that actually who they are? Maybe I need to pay closer attention to the Steelers. I was surprised to see the Steelers at number 3.
The Steelers were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 last year when it comes to sacks, but I'm just looking at who they are on paper. I bet you a lot of y'all don't know who Derek Harmon is. Guarantee a lot of you don't know who he is. Out of Oregon. Yaya Black. I'm sure a lot of y'all don't know who that is. Cameron Hayward, OG, triple OG. TJ Watt, we know him as well, 7 sacks last year. So I don't get it. I don't know what I'm missing, but last year they were 6th when it comes to sacks, so you got a tip recap there. The Hawks had 47, Pittsburgh had 48, one more than the Hawks. But no one, like the Rams had 47 last year, but you expect Myles Garrett to, boom, get that up there.
That for sure.
I would accept 3rd.
You know what?
Fifth is a bit much.
In looking at their breakdown of their ratings, they mention T.J. Watt, Nick Herbig, and Alex Highsmith having 3 of their top pass rush grades. All 3 earned pass rush grades above 75, generated at least 40 pressures, etc. It kind of reminds me a little bit. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you know what it reminds me of a little bit is the conversation we had about Madden ratings, where they're looking at the Los Angeles Rams have a player who I'm assuming in Myles Garrett had the best, if not like a top 3 pass rush grade from Pro Football Focus. I am assuming that Will Anderson Jr. had a top 3 grade from Pro Football Focus. I am assuming that TJ Watt had a top grade. So the stars on those defensive lines, Jalen Carter, are carrying a lot of weight. Understandably, fairly, I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Those are all exceptional players. Seattle pops in at number 5. A rating I think is too low for them, but I think is in part influenced by the fact that, like, who's the massive star that's going to be number 1 in sacks or number 1 in pressures or number 1 in their pass rush rate? The way that they rush the passer is a little bit different than how these other 4 teams did it.
Are you big on like what are those awards people get for movies? Oscars?
I used to be.
All right. Well, I think the Seahawks they're that film that is popular. But it's popular because of the depth, like the star, the supporting actor, like everyone else. Like there's so much depth in the film.
Like a good cast.
Yeah, you appreciate it. To whereas these other teams have like the headliner,
the blockbuster. It's Tom Cruise.
You know, it's Will Smith in his heyday.
Yeah.
It's Dwayne Johnson.
And that's selling tickets.
And Dwayne Johnson in Moana was kind of awkward to me, but you know what? People still went out and saw that because Dwayne Johnson is in it.
Whereas, and the Seahawks are like, I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah, the Seahawks are like that. You know what? That was a good movie.
Oh, that was really good.
That was a really good movie.
And I know that I saw him in, God, what was that? I've seen him in something before. It was on Netflix.
Exactly.
Now, we're joking because obviously there are stars on this team like Leonard Williams who people knew before he was.
But that's just the way. That's the way.
It's a good analogy.
PFF sees this because Rams, obviously, you got Aaron Donald probably coming back. You got Myles Garrett. You got Will Anderson with the Texans. You have Watt with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have Jalen Carter and everybody named Mama with Philly. And then you come to Seattle and you're like, who's their guy again? And it's probably Leo. And they're looking at Leo and say, well, he only had 7 sacks last year. So did TJ Watt. She only had 7 last year as well. But it's typical. But listen, can we really complain with top 5?
No.
I think we can, but I think they should be maybe 3rd or 2nd. But we're top 5. It's better than being outside the top 10.
I don't feel wildly disrespected because I think that is part of it. I think part of what made Seattle's defensive line so elite was that the pressure came from everywhere. Multiple guys had 5 or more sacks. And yes, Boye Mafe, losing him is pretty massive, but like, the way they played, the health that they had, Mike McDonald's scheme, all of that was a really important factor. And it is hard to rate that. It's hard to grade it. It's hard to, you know what I mean? It's hard to look at a team that doesn't have the best defensive player in football and say they were the best defensive line in football. I think that that's hard for analysts to do, and I don't blame them for it. Tell me what you think of the rest of the list, though. Okay, so Seahawks come in at number 5. Number 6, Denver Broncos. 7, Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
8's fun.
8 is
8, just for fun, Cincinnati Bengals.
We're talking about projecting.
I like that.
I mean,
I like that.
Looking at my homie that came over from the Giants.
Trey Hendrickson.
Hendrickson?
Dexter
Lawrence.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to say Trey Hendrickson is carrying that. Dexter Lawrence is the addition.
Yeah, Henderson is with Baltimore now, right?
Yes.
And then Boye Mafe, big ups. If Boye Mafe is moving the needle like that, good for you, but that is an interesting one.
Yeah, so I think they're looking at Dexter Lawrence carrying a lot of that. Number 9, Jacksonville. Not mad. Although, you know who I routinely forget about, and maybe shame on me, but I'm sorry, Trayvon Walker. You go 1-1 over Aiden Hutchinson. And we all debate who's going to go first. Is it Aiden? Is it Trayvon Walker? Oh, my God. And, like, maybe it's not Walker's fault, per se. And that's a position that's kind of tough. You're not going to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that you're, like, going to be jumping off the stat sheet all the time. But I'm surprised how little we hear about him.
Yeah, me too.
You were 1-1.
Yeah.
Right?
This is an interesting list. that we have in front of us. The Bengals.
Oh, the Lions are 10.
Like I said, the Bengals are the one that has me scratching my head the most. I don't think Mafe and why I keep forgetting his name, Dexter Lawrence, are going to move it like that. If they do move the needle like that for the Bengals and they perform as a top 10 defensive line, then we got to look at the Bengals differently because we know that offense is going to be on point.
Let's ask Wyman what he thinks about this defensive line heading into the season and what he makes of the signing of Trevon Diggs. He joins us next.
Outside of quarterback, for real, we got the hardest position on the field, man.
The big-time players
They can't beat us throwing the ball.
make big-time plays.
Ball picked up. Witherspoon comes near side.
And a big-time Seahawk.
Witherspoon, 97 yards.
He's locked in for the long haul.
Spoon and the soul of our defense. Spoon is the heart of it.
Spoon's extension. And what's next for the Hawks? All at SeattleSports.com. And the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Let's go.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gage Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of the video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
With the experience of over 150,000 procedures, the doctors at K2 Vision will know which procedure is best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Seattle loves to celebrate. Big hits, touchdowns,
Seahawks!
and even parades. This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today. Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon,
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can. For Lee Johnson, it's a promise backed by more than 90 years of earning people's trust.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Seahawks have a new cornerback. It's not Terrion Arnold. While the team still does plan to sign Arnold, ESPN's Adam Schefter reported this afternoon that Seattle will sign two-time Pro Bowl corner Trevon Diggs to a one-year deal. We'll hear from him at VMAC coming up in about 30 minutes. The Seahawks inked Devin Witherspoon, their top corner, to a new deal this past weekend, but they do have a few injuries in that group, including one to rookie Julian Neal.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. God, Dave Wyman makes one appearance on HBO, and suddenly he's too good for us. What's going on?
He just forgot.
Dave, can you hear me? You're supposed to be in here 1 minute ago. You guys are different now. I sensed it from you. No.
Are we?
You were here with a coffee. I swear, sunglasses on. It's like, here comes Dave now.
Sunglasses on? Where are the sunglasses?
You didn't have sunglasses on, but I was just sensing a diva attitude from you. Here's Dave now, star of HBO's Hard Knocks. God, I'm so mad at both of you.
Blocking all the cameras,
Dave,
man.
I was just saying.
I'll just play. You didn't block any cameras.
No, I was just saying, Bump's just kind of like different this morning.
No, I'm not.
Since being on Hard Knocks, Knocks last night.
Kind of a big deal.
You were also on HBO. Do you feel like Bump? Do you feel kind of better than Bob and Lefko today?
Well, I feel like that every day.
That's true, and that's fair.
No, yeah, I mean, I guess I was kind of like, oh, geez, there I am complaining about the game. This is one of the uglier preseason games I've ever seen. Yeah, put the old grumpy man back in the corner. Yeah, I mean, I think going in, we were like, hey, how do we get on the show? Bump got on. I got on. That's
Raves.
Yeah.
No, everyone did. Everyone got on.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys want to talk Hard Knocks and keep going for a minute?
No,
I do.
You run the show, Stacey. You drive it.
What stood out to you from Hard Knocks? Really fun episode. I've enjoyed every single episode.
Yeah, I think that Cooper Kupp has a clone because he's in every meeting in all of those. And it's very telling, right? I mean, this guy's like an old school player coach. Mm-hmm. So that really stood out. The other thing is Jay Harbaugh, and in that conversation he had about Terry and Arnold and how it's like, well, if you're the first team, you kind of, it's like, okay, we have to get, because it was so shocking. But if you're the second team, it's just different, because that's what a lot of people have been texting and going, well, then why did the Detroit Lions cut him? Well, it's a different mentality, right? And Jay Harbaugh is just, I don't know. I mean, that coaching tree, the Harbaughs are incredible. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of stuff, and he's in a lot of meetings, and I think that he just thinks differently. And he's a very, very interesting guy. I thought him and Cooper Kupp have really stood out. The route tree, the virtual route tree of JSN was one of the most awesome things I've ever seen. Because, I mean, you can draw all those up, those little route trees. You've been doing that your whole life, Bump. And they did it. Do you think they got him to go out there and run each route and film it
Probably.
and then do that?
Yeah.
Kind of what it looked like.
Superimpose it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was awesome. Then Jimi Hendrix and back. I mean, they always pick
that was
great,
a cool montage.
great music. The way they worked in the city. I mean, I'm sure I'm a little bit biased, but I think this season is the best, And because a lot of times you have like expectations of like they just won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They're our team. We've been here. Like I'm pretty sure I'm being objective. Maybe not, but I'm pretty sure I'm being objective that I think this is the best season. What do you
agree.
think?
No, I agree. I don't watch all of them, but I take a look at all of them.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first one in a while where obviously I'm going to watch every single episode. But I think it's important for people to see just how hungry this team still is. There's no hangover. And you saw when Sherm was talking about how LOB compares to this team when it comes to the year after the Super Bowl. And he says guys are still hungry, still focused. I'm sure they were back in the day too. Mm-hmm. But Mike's done a good job. Mike and his staff, I think his staff doesn't get enough credit too, of just making sure guys still show up ready to compete every day.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it was, I don't know, you can kind of see, I think I feel like the Seahawks were kind of a mystery to the rest of the NFL. Like, what's the secret sauce up there? And I think it's all starting to kind of come together, just the way that they think about things differently. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed it. And like I said, maybe I'm trying to think of some of the other scenes. The charcuterie board thing was hilarious with the Jets, where he called it the charcuterie board.
You can tell he was trying, though. He was trying. He was looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying.
But then I remember when Aaron Rodgers first got to the Jets, that montage of him throwing the ball, and they had good music in the background. That was awesome. I thought Salah's speech about, was it like the crow that carries the eagle up to where
the Browns had lots of great moments in theirs. They had funny moments.
Who?
Yeah.
The Browns when they had Hard Knocks.
Yeah, so I thought the Jets one was pretty good, but then this one to me it's starting to capture, and I think people are starting to understand what the Seahawks are about.
Is there anything that you learned, genuinely didn't know before? Because you know a lot about the team. You're obviously a former Seahawk. I say this to both you and Bump. You guys are both former players who remain really well connected, involved with like game day broadcasts. Like there's not a lot that you don't know about the team. So I wondered if for someone like you, there's anything where you're like, oh, cool to have some insight there. Like, was there any, or even if it was a relationship or something like, oh, I didn't realize that player was as involved, or I didn't realize this relationship was this way. Yeah. But anything that you thought, oh, I actually learned something here.
Yeah, I was going to say Cooper Kupp, but I kind of learned that last year because there was a time we were in Jacksonville, and I went down to get like the late snack. We got there, I think, 2 days before, and Cooper Kupp at like midnight was sitting there talking to Aiden Dirty about defense.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was just...
Did they have snacks too?
I don't know what they were doing. No, but they were sitting inconsequential.
But they were talking defense.
Yeah, but they were sitting there talking defense. And, and Aiden Dirty was doing most of the talking, but, you could see that Cooper Kupp was just dialed in.
Ahead of what game? Do you remember? You said Carolina.
Before Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Yeah. So
they won that game.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people found out about that. I guess I've kind of known that, but maybe not like to the degree of times that he is in either Mike's office, or he seems like he's in everybody's office.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Putting in work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I learned that I knew Mike had that dog in him, but I loved him calling out D Hall.
Yeah.
I love the response of D Hall. In the moment, of course, as a player, he didn't do nothing wrong. Oh my God, he remind me of my kids when I tell them go fix this. Oh my God, I did it already. Yeah. And then when it's all said and done, Mike goes and loves him up. Hey man, I love you. Just got to step my dang quarterback. And then D Hall goes to the individual meetings or like the one-on-ones with Hard Knocks and says, you know what, I got to come back and be better the next day. It shows a healthy relationship, because no relationship is perfect. You're not going to go through a relationship and never have an issue with what someone says or does, especially on the football field. But when it happens, and you get over it, and let's go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I love the sort of interaction where he's like, oh, my God. You're right. He did sound like one of your kids.
Yeah. The hands up. Yeah. You did the perfect impression.
Yeah.
One thing we learned a lot of, certainly last week, but this week, at least for me, was just more insight into that Terrion Arnold move. Not making the episode because it broke today was the signing of Trevon Diggs. So I have a two-part question for you. One, just your reaction to the signing when you saw it. And two, it's what I asked Bump earlier. What does it tell us about how they see their cornerback room or that depth that there was Terrion Arnold and then now there's Trevon Diggs?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that there's anything out of the ordinary in that regard, that when John thinks that they have like a weak spot, and, you know, as far as corners go, it's high on his list. Like, I think if you ask John, you know, what are the most important positions, it'd probably be edge rusher, number one, because he always says, you know, can't have enough of those guys, and then cover corners. You know, it's such a difficult, and you watch JSN and you know why. Or, you know, some of these monsters that are, you know, like DK Metcalf size guys that are just so wildly athletic that you have to have guys to cover him. So, yeah, I don't think that there's anything out of the ordinary there. I think he's always trying to get depth at that position.
I wonder how he'd feel if he had a chance to draft because they've never had a chance to get that edge rusher, like number 2, 3. If he had a chance to get like a Will Anderson Jr., he's never had that. I wonder if he'd be salivating at that opportunity. Just thinking out loud here.
I'm sure he would.
If I was a GM, just a chance to be like, oh, number 2 overall. No, you never want to be there.
Yeah.
You never want to be in that spot. But
well, the year Murphy got drafted, didn't Latu go before him?
Yeah, he went like 11 or 12, I want to say.
Yeah, it was like right before him, because I think Murph was the second defensive player taken, and they weren't going to do that because Latu, of his, you know, he failed the physical at Washington, then went to UCLA and they passed him. Yeah. So, I think he is he's very much a stickler on the injury.
Dave, what do you think of the Hawks signing 2 defensive backs? What does that tell you?
Yeah, I mean, again, I just think that they're just trying to get depth and get the right guys, and they're trying to make it competitive, you know, and that's the thing. Go out and compete each and every day. And I think, you know, the more people, because maybe it's a move to get Nehemiah Pritchett to start playing better, you know, or, you know, Gene Charles, or, you know, some of those other guys, just create competition, I think is really what the move is there.
Montorie Foster is such a cool story. Clearly impressing at camp. I don't know how he makes the roster, though. Like, I'm trying to figure out, what case can he make? What can he do? I've been asking Bump nonstop. Is that the same thing that you've been wondering with, like, is he a practice squad guy? Is he great on special teams? Like, has he been standing out to you as well, even prior to Hard Knocks?
Yeah. Maybe he's going to become that guy. I always forget his name. I should know. I coached against him. The receiver from Skyline that went to UW.
Yeah, Kaysen.
Williams.
Kaysen Williams. Yeah. Remember that? Yep. I mean, he had as good of a preseason as you can have. And I would argue also Patrick O'Connell last year had as good of a preseason you can have. And then they cut him, which I was shocked by. But I was even more shocked that he cleared waivers. So they got him back on the practice squad, because I was like, nobody saw that? So there's always that guy that kind of falls through the cracks. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's Foster. You know, he might be one of those guys that you're like, man, I don't know what else he could have done.
It's funny you said that, because that's the example I use too. Yeah, Kaysen Williams had one of the best preseasons I've seen. But I also told Stacy that there's a moment in the show where Coach Frisk is coaching up Montorie. Like, he did something wrong, and he's like, he's mad at him because he probably made that mistake all week, and now you come out here, you make the mistake. That's what people don't see, is that Montorie had a touchdown, several catches, did have a drop, and everyone's walking away from the game thinking, man, he had a great game. But those 2 to 3 plays that you mess up on is what separates you from coaches really trusting you. So I hope he has an opportunity to kind of bounce back from that.
That's a great point. And you know what? The other thing is, nobody, and I'm not saying this about Montorie Foster, because he's a fantastic kid, but a lot of guys just don't make the team because they just can't. I don't want to say they're not smart enough, but like they just can't remember the plays, or they're just, you know, I say kind of, you know, in a mean way, like they're too dumb.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was around players like that were just fantastic physically and everything, but they just couldn't.
I beat out players that were better than me.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't pick up on the playbook.
Is that where your guys' minds normally go when someone's like, why aren't we seeing more from this guy? Do you automatically just go? Do you automatically go to that with like?
Yeah, the coaches, like, their ass is on the line too, right?
Yeah.
When I got to Denver, I signed a pretty significant deal there, and I thought I was going to be there for the long haul. And there was the linebacker that they really liked, and he was super athletic. His name was Jeff Mills, but he wasn't a good football player. He couldn't remember the plays. He couldn't, you know, this, that, and the other. So I mean, there are those kinds of guys out there. But if they can't, like you said, if the coach can't trust them, not going to – because, I mean, you screw up a play and somebody gets sacked or whatever, you turn the ball over, it's just not worth it.
I remember we were in a red zone session, and we had just put this audible in. It was Greg Knapp was our guy, rest in peace. We were in a 2x2 formation. I was a slot, and I was supposed to adjust my route from a corner to a flat. If Matt came up to the line of scrimmage and made the audible, I missed the audible, right? And now we got two guys running the corner, and Greg Knapp ripped me a new one from everybody. I was fresh. I'm like, dang, never made that mistake again. Like, for the most part, I was 98% assignment friendly, but that's how important it is. I'm like, this is OTAs, and this man is on my head that way because, like you said, his job is on the line. He's got to put the best guys out there. So it's real. Now, if Jason makes a mistake, they're not going to yell at him like that. Well, hey, Jax, talk to me.
Yeah.
You know? Undrafted free agent, oh, yeah, he's going to get it.
Just Jason, he's having a bad day.
Yeah, it's a bad day.
His mind's elsewhere. You can hear more from Wyman. I'm assuming you guys are reacting to the Diggs signing, talking Hard Knocks. Unfortunately, maybe a little Mariners before 4:40 p.m. first pitch and 3:30 p.m. pregame show. He is Dave Wyman, also the star of HBO's Hard Knocks. Thanks, Wyman.
Thanks, guys. I did stay an extra minute or two.
We'll bill you. No, we'll send you an invoice. Don't worry. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what does JSN do that you teach your wideouts?
JSN is one of the smoothest receivers I've seen in a long time. I compared him to Jerry Rice. We had a texter text in and said Marvin Harrison. I could see that too. I think Marvin played a little higher than JSN, but I get the comparison. But he's smooth. So if you ever ran track or just sprinted at all, I teach my guys.
Never.
You got to find, like, especially if we're in my facility, I'll teach them, look at something on the wall. Maybe it's a letter or whatnot. And when we're running our routes vertically, you want that letter or whatever you're looking at, minimal bounce. Because when you run, there's going to be a kind of a bounce, right? Minimal bounce. If you can keep that thing from bouncing a lot, it's going to move. That means you're efficient and you're not wasting any movement. I would imagine when JSN runs, there's minimal bounce when he runs, right? If you were to look at something that's going to move because you're moving, but there isn't a lot of bounce, that means he's smooth and every step is efficient and he's running behind his pads. I think that's one of the best things that JSN does. He even runs routes differently than I would teach it, but some guys are so good, they can run it that way. Like, he'll run an in-breaking route and break hard off his inside foot. I would never teach that. I would say, like, if you're rolling the route, you can start the roll on your inside foot, but your outside has to push you there. Jason is so strong and so unorthodox sometimes that he can just roll it with the inside and push and get there. Some guys just got it like that. But it's being smooth, man. And all the top receivers are smooth. You look at Justin Jefferson, Jabbar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, these guys are smooth. But there's a non-violence that comes with Jason's game that only he can get away with at this point.
So what's something that an opposing corner is watching for covering JSN that JSN isn't giving him easily? Is it pad level? Is it an indication that he's going inside?
Well,
like, what's he looking for?
One, you're looking at hips. Don't look him in the eyes. Don't look at his feet. You look at the hips because the body is going wherever the hips are going.
They don't lie.
The hips don't lie. They tell you the truth. What they turn in, he's turning in. Now there's double moves. We saw on Hard Knocks last night. We call it a whip route. He breaks in, then breaks back out. But you got to keep your eyes on those dang hips. If you look at his eyes, his arms, his shoulders, his feet, he's going to get you. And I teach my guys to look at the DB's eyes. For that reason, look him dead in the eye. It's going to freeze him. I tell him by the second quarter, I need to know the color of that DB's eyes. I need to know if he has a mark on his face because you are freezing him with those eyes. I think Jason does a good job of that. Like, it's almost like, look up here. Don't look at my hips. Look up here. Look at me. Look at me. And you get him. Jason is just one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Second down. Why do you think the Hawks are looking for defensive backs?
Well,
I mean, had a workout, just sign someone else.
I mean, we just talked about it, but there's some concern in that room. There's some concern. It could be because of age. It could be depth. It could be performance. Either way you slice it, there's concern in that room. And if I'm one of these young guys, if I am Dansby, if I'm Fuller, if I'm Pritchett, if I'm Jordan Washington, I'm perking up. And I have to prove my worth on this team. And how are these guys going to do it? It's all special teams for them now. Granted, you have to be discipline and where you're supposed to be defensively. You can't just say, okay, I'm just going to focus on specials. You got to be able to run the scheme. But they're bringing this in as a challenge to these young guys too. And this is the business of football. It is not personal. They're not bringing a guy in because they don't like Dansby. They're not bringing a guy in because they don't like Fuller. They're bringing them in because that room is young, even with the leadership of Spoon in the DB room, not the corner room, not all the DBs. That's J-Love's role. But there's some concern there. What's the concern? We can't pinpoint it, but I can narrow it down to 3 things. Leadership, youth, performance. One of those 3 they're concerned about.
I'm still getting texts in from people saying how cool it was to hear you on Hard Knocks. And someone else said, we are going to contact the producers of Hard Knocks and let them know we don't want Stacy on. And I think that's crazy.
Wow.
That's very personal. Look, I'm not hurting anyone by trying desperately to get on the show. And I support, Bump is my friend. He's like a brother to me. I support his endeavor, and I was so happy when I heard you on there.
After you hung up on me.
After I hung up on you. It just took me a minute. Sometimes we process things at different speeds, and that's okay. They're down. What's something cool from last night?
Man, I thought it was so cool that Russell played in the game and then left at halftime to go help wifey with the birth of the child. And coach is like, hey, you need a ride there? You good? Even through all the chaos, coach is making sure that Brady Russell is good to go. And Brady, I'm telling you, with the injury to Oots, Brady's importance to this team just escalated a bunch. But no, that's the human part of this thing. People forget these guys are human, and it's crazy how they did a scene where Brady Russell's wife is laying there. She's like, "Man, I'm 42 weeks. This baby should have been out." And I felt it in that moment. I go, "Oh yeah, that thing's gonna pop out during the game. Watch." And lo and behold, it happened. So congratulations to Russell. We see him a lot at VMAG, just walking through the room and all that stuff. But I thought that was cool that even with everything Mike McDonald has to take care of and adjust real quick at halftime and all that stuff, you made sure to come over and be like, hey, you good?
Yeah.
That's the human part of it. And that's the same dude that Mike McDonald called out for getting that D Hall. You know, that just shows you how things are overblown sometimes, man. When you are playing in a violent game and there's a lot of emotions, you're going to say some things. I've been on the sideline and had coaches go at it. 2 minutes later, all right, man, 3rd down. What do you like here?
Yeah.
You know, that's just something that happens. Then you go after the game, you have a beer, you laugh about it, be like, hey, but don't do that again. But yeah, that was funny.
See, that's how normal relationships work. And I feel like sometimes people, when you're observing them as opposed to living them, lose that nuance entirely.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy doesn't like this guy. And it's like, nah. Teammates or coaches or whoever else, they're allowed to have spats, they're allowed to have issues, they're allowed to whatever. JSN is allowed to get into this debate with his coach right now, and it doesn't mean that they don't both like and believe in each other. It's just, and we know that as people because that's how all of our relationships are in real life. But suddenly when we watch them, we start seeing them as black and white.
Right.
So I thought that was interesting too. 4th down. What did you like from Sam last night?
I loved Sam vouching for Montori Foster and letting the coaches know for Drew and for Milroe to have success, you need guys like Foster out there. It's a team sport. You can do everything right. One person jacks it up, and the perception of that play is all messed up. Like people yelling at Milroe for not throwing the football the last game didn't see that the offensive lineman missed his block. Guys were covered down the field. All it takes is one guy to kind of mess things up. And when you're playing with 2s and 3s, the likeliness of them getting open, they can still get open, but it's not going to be as smooth as Jason. It's not going to be as smooth as Cooper Kupp or Rashid Shaheed. That's just the reality of it. So I love that Sam made sure that the coaches felt that it was important that these guys have an opportunity to perform at the highest level they can dealing with the 2s and the 3s. And that just shows leadership. And I think the more we watch Hard Knocks, the more I see the leadership from Sam. It's just it's so subtle though. It's such in a different way. So that was cool. Also, Cooper Kupp's in every damn meeting room in the world.
That was the follow-up question I had for you. One of my takeaways I didn't get to in the open was, man, Cooper Kupp is everywhere behind the scenes. Is it normal for a receiver to be, like if you're a top receiver, older receiver, to be in a quarterback meeting?
I think at times it is, but from my experiences, that's the most I've ever seen. But that's why
crazy.
He looks at the game from so many different angles and can explain it in a way that a lot of people can't because he's hearing it from the quarterbacks. He's hearing it from the DBs. He's probably in the O-line room That's fun, man. I wish when I was playing, I did more of that, but also I was fighting for my life to make the team.
Yeah.
And he is established.
It makes me wonder if that happens with any other position groups. Like, I could see Cooper Kupp just being a veteran, tight with Sam.
I know Spoon goes to the receiver.
That's what I was going to ask.
Spoon goes to receivers.
If there are other players who, as representatives of that room, or go to another one and go, okay, now I can communicate what I learned here.
Yep.
I'd be curious to what extent that happens with other groups.
Yeah.
You know, an offensive lineman in a pass rush meeting or defensive line meeting or whatever.
It's called cross training.
I know that. No, I didn't. It was really interesting. It was cool to watch. Coming up next, we get to hear from a new Seahawk. Trevon Diggs joined reporters at Virginia Mason Athletic Center, and we will listen in. Don't go anywhere.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game in the books. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Make the nice, easy drive on I-5 to Silver Reef Casino Resort. There you'll find the ideal getaway where you can recharge and have a little fun. It starts with the rooms. Deluxe, comfortable, and spacious with in-room tablets and free Wi-Fi. Downstairs, you'll find the restaurants. Amazing steakhouses, new authentic Mexican restaurant, the Cantina, and Porter's Bay Sports Bar. Head outside for an 18-hole journey with water on almost every hole at Loomis Trail Golf Course. Claim your free entry to win a share of $100,000 in August. Drawings held every Saturday night. You might get lucky. Live entertainment with Ian Bagg this month. Guns for Roses next month, and Howie Mandel in October. Take I-5 exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
Need a lift? At Levitt Machinery, we take a different approach to help you lift more and worry less. We take the time to learn how you work. Then we match your business with equipment that solves your unique challenges. From forklifts and telehandlers to track loaders and excavators, we make sure you get the right equipment at the right cost. Because when your equipment does its job, you can focus on yours. Talk to Levitt Machinery today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Keep summer outside where it belongs. Save $588 on every window and $1,088 on every door, plus free heat deflecting glass. Claim your free quote today, plus 12 months no payments. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Dave Wyman here, brand new member of Harborstone Credit Union, and I got my PNW cashback checking account for free. No fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. Gas, groceries, coffee, travel, lunch, all categories count toward your cashback. Open your free account online like I did. Go to harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Experience the thrill of the Kitsap Fair and Stampede, August 26th through the 30th. Celebrate local agricultural heritage and get up close with the community's agricultural roots through 4-H and FFA livestock exhibits, still life displays, and educational showcases that highlight the rich farming history of the Kitsap Peninsula. Kitsap Fair and Stampede runs August 26th through the 30th. Don't miss it. Get your tickets and info at kitsapfair.org. That's kitsapfair.org.
Summer is in full swing at T-Mobile Park, and it's not too late to come on board as a Mariners season ticket member. Lock in a Mariners Flex plan and choose your games, seats, and number of tickets as you go. 6 seats in the bleachers one night, 2 right behind the Mariners dugout the next. It's all up to you. Plus, you still get all the perks of being a member, like priority postseason presale access and discounts of 10% or more and no fees on regular season tickets. Join the team today at mariners.com/flex.
Packed team buses, light rail and ferries. There are different routes to game day, but the destination is always the same. This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Seahawks.com today.
Football, baby! Nobody gets you closer to the action at Seahawks training camp than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Trevon Diggs, the newest Seattle Seahawks, speaking with reporters at Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Let's take a listen.
Welcome to Seattle. What made this a good fit for you?
The history. Seeing what these young guys, what the team has been doing, seeing a lot of young guys just coming together and just being a great football team. I know a lot of familiar faces here. Josh Jobe, D-Law, just those guys, talking to those guys, they're saying it's a great fit, just everything that they have going here, and, I would love to be a part of it.
What did the coaches tell you about what they want you to show or what they think your role would be?
I just come here to compete. I just want to come here, compete, earn my keep, just do everything I can just to, earn a spot here and, help this team win.
When did this come together?
Yesterday.
Is that the first time they showed interest in
they've been talking to my agent for a little bit, and then he told me they were going to come down here and get me down for a workout. I came down here, I worked out, and then the rest is history.
You had a visit with Detroit as well?
Yeah.
Were there some other teams interested too? Or?
Yeah, I had a visit with Detroit. I was supposed to see a couple other teams, but, I like to hear a lot. Like, this feels like home. I got a lot of familiar faces, Coach Scott, AD, so just being a part of those guys knowing me, knowing, where my heart is, knowing how I want to compete. So, it felt right.
What's the biggest driving factor for you? Just the fact that you knew so many guys here, particularly in the secondary?
Yeah, most definitely. You got to have someone that, you can relate to, can talk to, guys going to help you out and, push you to be your best, and that's what I want for myself, and that's what I want to do.
Was the plan at the start of the summer, was your plan to be picky and wait through the summer and find a situation that you really liked, or what was your plan?
Just finding somewhere that, felt like home, finding somewhere, that I'll have an opportunity to compete, have an opportunity, to play and just, if it felt right, that's what I want to do more than to make the right decision for me.
What do you feel like your strengths are as a corner, and where are some places that you're wanting to improve?
My strengths as a corner, I got great ball skills. I have a great knack for the ball, just understanding, offenses, understanding routes, understanding, what receivers want to do. I think that's my strongest abilities.
Do you feel like the defense that they play here and, having some familiarity with Carl and Josh from college and having them here, how does it translate for what you're doing here?
It's a lot of similarities. Just talking to Josh, earlier today, he was telling us a lot of similarities. He said he's going to help me out, get the playbook down. I'm going to be in my playbook every day just to get the whole defense down and, just being able to give myself a chance, give myself an opportunity to come out here and compete and, help win.
And do you feel like you're fully healthy? You're fully recovered?
Most definitely. It's my first offseason that I've been able to just not rehab and actually do off-season training. So, a lot of trainers put the work in, helped me put the work in to get to where I'm at today. I'm truly thankful for that. And, it's a blessing from God, honestly, just to be able to, come out here again.
What are you looking to show? Obviously, you have a tough run of injuries there. Now that you are healthy, like you say, what are you looking to show here?
Yeah. I'm looking to show that I'm still the best. I'm looking to show that I just want to win. Be there for my teammates, be a great teammate, and be a great player.
Knowing Job and D-Law, what's it mean having them as teammates?
It's really good, Like I said, just having someone that you're familiar with or that you can talk to, ask questions with, it helps out a lot.
Was last year tough for you with the injuries and the concussion? Have you ever dealt with anything like that, concussion-related?
No, that was my first concussion ever. It was different, but just overcoming injuries, just adversity, overcoming adversity, period, is always tough. But, if you did it before, you can do it again. I just want to be able to play healthy, this year, full season, and help.
What was it like trying to deal with those knee injuries coming one after another and just kind of feeling like you're repeatedly in the same spot and trying to work back? How was that to handle mentally and all that? And then what was the process of getting to back to where you feel like, at least in that area, you're back to 100%?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, but just keeping good people around you. My family was a great support system for me. Keeping my mental straight and just keep going, I love football, I just love football. I love to play. So this being a part of football, it's kind of like it's part of my job. It's a part of your job. You're going to get hurt. You're going to have things that happen. You're going to get traded. You're going to get cut. Things happen, but you just got to keep going.
Marcus Lawrence came here from Dallas, won a Super Bowl last year, and now you got Dante Fowler here and you here, Adam Dirty's here. It's like Dallas, a lot of guys coming here from that organization.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the kind of that transition and obviously the different places you've played?
Just being with those guys, the things that we were doing and the family aspect of it, I see a lot of similarities. Just how close the guys are, how tight the group is, that's very important with a football team. Just, being together, being one, making sure your locker room is straight. And, I see a lot of similarities there.
The concussion, it's true, is that you were mounting a television?
Yeah.
It fell on your face, or what happened?
Yeah, it fell on my head.
You were affected for a couple months from that, right?
No, it was only I was out of concussion protocol in like a week, but I was dealing with some other injuries.
Timing-wise, do you like that you're joining the team, then you're going to get on the road for a little extended trip to kind of start to form that bond with the team?
Yeah, for sure. Just want to get in with the guys, vibe, get familiar with them, get familiar with new faces, and just go out there and help.
What have you kind of admired about Mike McDonald's defense, watching it from afar and kind of seeing what they do and jumping into it? How big of a factor is that for you?
It looks amazing. They get to the quarterback, they create turnovers, they do all the right things. So, I'm excited to, hopefully be a part of it. Go out there, compete, and just try to help this team win. That's all I want to do.
You haven't played in a minute. Can you play by the final preseason game next Friday? You think you'd be in shape to by then?
Possibly. I got to put in the work, get practice reps, and maybe.
For all the things you had to go through to get here, to have this opportunity be the one that works with defending champions, your position is a position of need for them, and almost like meant to be in a way, right?
Yeah, most definitely. It's been a long journey, and I'm just extremely thankful. It's been a blessing, from God. I thank Him the most, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity.
You've played some in the slot, is that right? Or have you mostly been on the outside?
I've been on the outside. I played in the slot too, wherever.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Trevon. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that is the latest from the newest Seattle Seahawk, Trevon Diggs, speaking with reporters. A couple things standing out to me. Number one, confirming that, I'm assuming that I would be in a preseason contest, get a chance to get out there. Obviously, all eyes will be glued to him to see kind of how he looks with this group. It's hard to gauge much of anything from the preseason, but what will you be watching for instance, with Diggs?
My good friend Lofa Tatupu lives and dies by this. Space and timing. Time and space. And he lives by that because he says, how quickly can you identify something and how quickly can you close the space on things? Time and space. And the more I watch film with him, the more I believe in that, especially on defense, because defensively, your job is to recognize and close space. And that's something I'm going to look at when it comes to Diggs. How quickly can he identify things, and what does his body look like as he's closing that space, and then it's finishing the play. So, I'm going to be on my low-foot stuff.
This is maybe a dumb question, but if you were Mike Macdonald and the Seahawks coaching staff, knowing that you're signing him in part because this is an area where you want some depth, do you put him out there and play him? I know that could be stupid.
You got to see.
Okay.
I don't think you put him out there for like 3 quarters, but you got to see.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then tell Dansby and Fuller that, you guys are going to be backups for sure and just go out there and play.
I know. It's like I was so caught in between where it's like, okay, they're clearly a little nervous about health and injury and depth in that room. At the same time, you signed him as a free agent. You want him, these are going to be really important reps for him. He's clearly played before. He's a veteran, but like it's an interesting circumstance.
Yeah.
I would be fine with them at no point playing DeMarcus Lawrence at any point in the preseason, or Cooper Kupp at any point in the preseason. But there are certain guys who are clearly veterans, new to this team, and you go, well, I don't know. I mean,
you ain't seen them at all.
At all.
You got to see him.
At all. All right, get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Sports, non-sports, does not matter. Text them now, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know coming your way next.
Outside of quarterback, for real, we got the hardest position on the field, man.
The big-time players
They can't beat us throwing the ball.
make big-time plays.
Ball picked up. Witherspoon comes near side.
And a big-time Seahawk
Witherspoon, 97 yards.
is locked in for the long haul.
Spoon, man, the soul of our defense. Spoon is the heart of it.
Spoon's extension and what's next for the Hawks. All at SeattleSports.com and the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Let's go.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
11 Lee Johnson dealerships. Different brands, different vehicles, one promise everywhere. We'll work hard to get you the best deal we can.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
It's WFC 199 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, October 17th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 199 World Fighting Championship, October 17th at Emerald Queen Casino. Always entertaining. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop, Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
Paid political announcement.
If you care about keeping groceries affordable, listen up. Seattle City Hall is considering an ordinance that could put grocery discounts, rewards, and coupons at risk. The mayor's proposed fair pricing ordinance could have the exact opposite outcome and make everyday living more expensive. Protect Seattle Savings is working with the mayor's office to improve the proposal and keep costs down, but we could use your help. Visit protectseattlesavings.com to learn more and join the cause.
Paid for by Protect Seattle Savings.
Mariners and Brewers today in Milwaukee. 4:40 first pitch, 3:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, we met about a decade ago when you came into the studio, and at that point, IRG was humming, but you were not 40 locations strong all over the neighborhood. How have you done this, and why?
Number one, Brock, great people. Our strength here at IRG is our people. Secondly, we are a company that has a culture of giving back and taking care of our patients, taking care of our team, and thirdly, taking care of our community. We want to be your family physical therapist. More importantly, we want to be your family's neighborhood physical therapist. We want you to come in, have a great experience, and get better and get out there and be pain-free and function.
Take care of your friends. Taking care of your neighbors, taking care of your community, and taking care of Western Washington. With over 40 locations now, that's exactly what IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is doing. Find them in person, find them online at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More fast internet speed.
He's got the gigs to go big, bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's what I need to know. So if you got a question top of mind right now, sports, non-sports, text it 866-979-3776. In honor of Bump killing it on the play-by-play call, says our first listener, what's the best or just your favorite call ever? Any era, any sport. Great question. There's so many. I mean, I have a million Mariners ones I can think of.
Curtis, who's the basketball guy that goes, bang?
Oh, Mike Breen. Yeah.
Whenever he's calling and you hear the bang, hopefully your team is the one shooting and not playing defense.
You know what? Shout out to Dave Sims, his call on Mitch Haniger's, I don't remember. It wasn't a walk-off. It was a go-ahead.
Gave them the lead in the bottom of the eighth inning.
That was, I thought, a really good call. Really fun. Now I have favorite voices that I love. Like I'm sorry, I'm old or maybe like boring, but I always love hearing Al Michaels. It's nostalgic. It makes me feel like it's fall. Football's on. I'm not paying attention. I'm making something. You know what I mean?
Jackson back in the day. Keith Jackson.
But like specific calls, there's a lot.
The
of
greatest
choices.
call in Seattle sports history is the double.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All time though, you mentioned Al Michaels. The Do You Believe in Miracles? Yes, that's pretty much the very top.
Not a specific call, since he's said it a couple times, but I often quote Aaron and say, "What a silly hack."
Oh. I looked at highlights of that game the other day. That was Luis Castillo's first start in a Mariners uniform at home, and it was in extra innings. Matt Brash got somebody to strike out, and Aaron threw what a silly hack on that.
Silly hack. I'll say that randomly. Like, I'll say it like this parking lot's closed. What a silly hack.
I got to go back to something me and Riz talked about yesterday. Chick Hearns, when the game was over for the Lakers, he would say, You can put this one in the refrigerator. The door's closed, the light's out, the eggs are cooling, the butter's getting hard, and the Jell-O is jiggling. You heard that? Game over, Lakers win.
Oh my God, yes. Someone texted in and said, hello, it's Aaron saying, Leo Rivas, what have you done? Yes. Oh my God, that was a really fun call.
That's a good
Leo Rivas, what have you done? Yeah. What I need to know. See, there was another one for you. Oh, should the Seahawks troll the Patriots and have Diana Rossini raise the 12 flag for the opener?
Messy.
I don't think she's showing her face in public.
I don't think she's going to do that.
Messy.
It is pretty messy that's
Do you think we hear from her again?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to start a podcast.
Yeah, I think she's going to start. Yeah, I think she's going to have a podcast. And it's not like she needs the money. I don't know her financials, but I'm assuming has a ton of money. But like.
There have been various sightings of her in public. I know there was one with her and her family on a cruise. I don't know. I think there was another one. Her and her family were out to dinner. They're still together. Unbelievable.
Love conquers all.
The haters said it couldn't be done.
What I need to know, does someone need to invent new packaging for bacon? It's so hard, messy. I'm actually glad someone's saying
They got to
someone's
get
being
the
honest.
zipper seal like they do on bags of cheese.
Yeah.
We are so far behind technologically with bacon packaging. And there has to be some kind of reason that I just don't understand, because I refuse to believe that we have like supercomputers and cars that can drive themselves and have allegedly gone to the moon, and yet bacon packaging is not resealable, is impossible to use in any way.
It's impossible to open with your bare hands,
It's impossible to open with your bare hands. I think that Big Bacon is trying to make us purchase more bacon by making any bacon you don't cook in that specific setting go bad quickly.
Sure.
We're on to you, Hormel.
Sure.
You don't believe?
Jimmy Dean.
Believe.
You don't have an issue with bacon packaging?
I don't eat bacon. I do, but usually just at a restaurant. Yeah. Try to stay away from it.
I mean, it's all types of bacon too. This isn't unique.
This isn't unique. Turkey
bacon's the same thing. Yeah.
God, I hate turkey. What I need to know.
I don't mind turkey bacon.
I think it's the driest bird. Turkey bacon's fine, but turkey's the worst bird.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. Actually, the worst birds are LA pigeons, man. Disrespect.
You're not eating those.
Yeah, you're not eating them.
I know, but you said worse. I'm just saying LA pigeons
You're saying I just got to get this. Let me get
my whole
this
life
back.
LA pigeons, man.
What I need to know, have you ever had a moment as embarrassing as the Mariners loss yesterday? Bump?
Yeah. Woo. 1 year Lake Stevens whooped us like legit 70-6.
70-6.
They had like 5 All-Americans. It was probably the best high school team I've ever coached against.
I mean, to that, nearly an identical score when Arizona lost to ASU during the COVID season, 70-7. I hear about it from Paul Moyer all the time, even though Arizona's won 3 of the last 4 against ASU.
Remind him.
Yeah, exactly. Scoreboard, baby.
Scoreboard.
I've never done anything embarrassing in
not a day in your life.
In neither of my teams. No, that was.
You ever?
One of your teams went winless the entire year.
Exactly. It was your fault.
But we almost got BYU.
You ever
We almost got them.
You ever hit your head on the wall in the pool while making a turn?
Yeah. No, I've done lots of embarrassing things. I told Bump yesterday how I was almost accidentally in the middle of a police standoff, like with guns and stuff.
Wow.
On accident, because I was trying to go to Home Goods, and they didn't block off the road correctly, so I thought I could just kind of drive through. That was
Pardon
bad.
me.
Hey, she might be telling the truth, but imagine they didn't block off the road correctly.
That's what I'm saying.
Excuse me, sir. You didn't block off the road correctly.
I was not the only driver. There were 2 other cars ahead of me. I was not the only driver to drive in the middle where you're looking and you're going, oh my God, police, they're here with like
right.
big automatic weapon guns.
Let's be controversial, okay?
Yeah.
Gender and race.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? That's
Let's shake
crazy.
it up. Let's shake it up.
That's crazy. Maybe we all just needed to go to Starbucks and Home Goods that morning, and it doesn't matter who we were or what we looked like. But me and these two other drivers clearly were a little confused about where we needed to go. And I respect authority. I have a healthy respect for authority. I just needed them to tell me. It wasn't clear, so I was in the middle of it. What does this have to do with
You needed to speak to a manager. You needed to speak to a manager.
I did. But what I'm saying is that's not embarrassing. That's not embarrassing.
They had barricade like shields on, and she rolls down the window. Can I drive through here? Is it okay?
As bullets are flying.
I said, okay, I didn't know if I needed to turn around. I was going to ask the officer over here, but there's no one in this car. Do I need to turn here? And he said, yes, please. Straight-faced. He was not. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Here's a good one I found.
Yeah.
No, aren't foxes bears?
Okay, why are we still talking about me? Because I have more questions. What I need to know, let's see. When it comes to barbers, do you have one you always go to?
Yeah.
Or die easy and go with anyone available at the time?
I go to myself. Bald.
Oh,
easy.
Oh, yeah.
Curtis.
Yeah, you solved that. Curtis, you go to the same person?
I try to. I feel bad whenever I can't
cheat on your barber.
Look, we don't need to be on Front Street about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Look, if they're not in and I need a haircut, I have to bite the bullet and
do what you gotta do.
Put my fate in somebody else's hands.
Yeah. Stacy, would you give up Lukey if you could guarantee a quick spot in Hard Knocks? No, I don't think so.
No.
The lie detector test has determined that as a lie.
If I was the star of Hard Knocks, I don't know. That's a different conversation.
You're the star.
I haven't even had him for a year. I mean,
He's replaceable.
Do you think you're going to be on the next episode?
Nah. I think Jen's calling the second quarter of this game.
Oh.
So Mueller will probably be on.
Maybe that's the trick. I just need to spend the next couple days
play-by-play.
learning from scratch how to do play-by-play.
There you go.
How hard could it be?
Easy.
Pretty hard. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
Isn't it great to be back in pads playing football? Little Seahawks style.
The work continues for the defending champs.
Creating this vision of who we want to become all the time.
With the first preseason game in the books. What are the biggest questions? The players to keep an eye on. Roster battles to watch.
Hey, we got to turn it up, dude.
Stay connected to all things training camp on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
When your equipment is down, every minute counts. Levitt Machinery has the parts, technicians, and expertise to get you back up and running fast. Because if it's forked, we fix it. LevittMachinery.com. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best. But I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Man, how cool has it been to have a behind-the-scenes view into not only the main storylines during training camp, but what truly makes these guys tick. It's Mike Salk here, and that constant strive for improvement, right? What can you get better at each day? If that's inspiring to you at all, and if you want to become the best version of yourself, Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can help. They've helped more than 4,000 people locally lose significant weight and become a healthier, happier version of themselves. Heck, I lost 35 pounds in 8 weeks, and that could be you by this fall. Here's the best part. You get to enjoy delicious food that you love. The program teaches you lifelong habits so you can keep the weight off, and there's no monthly fees, no pills, no injections, and it's all real food that you buy at the grocery store. All it takes to get started is a free 15-minute phone call. Find out if it's right for you. You can schedule yours at eastsideweightlossklinik.com and take that call when you're in the car, commuting to work, or running errands. The only thing you have to lose is the weight itself. Go to Eastside Weight Loss Clinic.